Hello, everybody. Welcome to Speed 5. I'm here with my trusty sidekick, cKnoor. And we have a Crusader Kings III tonight, a family affair. And I am super excited to see what is going to happen tonight with everybody. How about you?
I mean, lots more than we thought was going to happen happened on week one. So we're coming into week two hot, and I think everyone's kind of excited to see, is that going to keep being a thing? Are we going to see more stuff than we expect?
Right.
They're going to get more points on the board. I think we will assume that there's going to be more points on the board. Also, players have had a full week to rethink their strategy. Last week, of course, was the time when theory met practice, and that might actually have revised some people's plans, and might have gotten some alliances between.
That would be interesting to see.
Between weeks.
It's going to be interesting to see, especially with people that are they're going to start losing their rulers, and they're going to start losing them quickly. So whether they can actually retain those points once they do lose their rulers. How do they get everything back? It would be super interesting to see if there are any players that start going to war with each other. That could definitely be a thing that we see tonight.
Yes, and we should also actually, I realized as we started talking about it, we instantly got into it, which is how excited we are. But we should actually mention what the general conceit of this Crusader Kings III MP is. They're all playing their own dynasty.
Yes.
And at the end of 4 weeks, or this is week 2, will the dynasty that holds the most titles. And we're going to get into more of that, what that looks like when we talk to the casters in just a bit, I think. But at the end of the day, titles is what matters, not necessarily, land as such. And it's not just for their rulers, but specifically for the whole their whole dynasty.
Yeah, and I mean, we definitely saw last week Kara came out with a pretty good, strong showing to start it. So definitely seeing if she can retain that or if she loses it. Kind of where she decides that she wants to extend to also. I mean, I think that just a guess, I would almost think that Kara would go to war with Snap's strategy. I think that would be my own personal play. But it'll be interesting to see what those two do with each other. And also, it'll be super interesting to see what happens with Mordaith, because he's the only one that currently does not have a point on the board.
Yep.
So it'll be great to see if he can kind of dig himself out of that little hole. Maybe invite a few people over for dinner, see if they survive that. See how hungry he is tonight.
Spoiler alert, Mordaith is... Mordaith ruler is a cannibal. In case you missed week 1, I feel like that's important information for people to have. The British Isles tried to get rid of him because they didn't like it, and they almost kind of succeeded. It was looking good,
did.
And then Snapdragon down in present-day France somehow, some way, now kind of partly controls half of the British Isles as well. So that's going to be fun for Mordaith.
Yeah, it definitely is. It'll be interesting also because I want to say, who was it? Who had the alliance? I think it was Snap that had the alliance with the HRE, right?
Yes, that is my recollection. It might be that we're totally wrong, but if we are, people will tell us shortly, I'm sure. SpartiniMartini, not that many points yet, but getting there. Got some. We were really worried at the start or at middle of yesterday's show, and then the points started trickling in and inching closer and closer to Byzantium, even though they were real bad at murdering people.
Yeah, they were.
They were horrible.
Well, on that note, we actually do have our casters ready to talk to if we would like to bring them in. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Look at their lovely faces.
They are very lovely. So let's start with Midgeman. So how do you think tonight is gonna go?
Well, that's a very open question, but I think we're going to see a lot of shifting in the map this episode because, well, we left off. SpartiniMartini was probably a couple of moments away from becoming the Byzantine emperor. should everything go to plan. Most of the characters are now in their late 50s, early 60s, which means they are at death's door in CK terms, which means we're going to see a lot of fracturing of realms. Snap strategy, of course, just grabbing that Empire title and subjugating England, putting pressure on both Kara and on Mordaith, and possibly even the Grave One. There's a lot that's about to unfold right now, so it's very hard to say. What I would like to see, however, is people move outside of Europe at this point. The Western Europe is getting very, very cozy between all the players here, and there's a lot of open land and there's a lot of open titles still to grab. So that's what I would like to see and what I think is going to see.
Well, fair enough. And what about you, Jibbly? What are you looking forward to most tonight?
Well, one thing that I think is really cool about this challenge is that it's not about what your ruler controls. It's about getting your dynasty on all the different thrones. So for me, at this point, we want to see big families. We want to see marriages all over the board. I'd like to see interesting alliances, like kind of like what Midgeman said about, getting out of Europe and putting people on thrones elsewhere in the world.
Okay. And on, go ahead.
So I have a quick question for Midgeman, actually, as the official game master here. Now, at the end of last week's show, we saved the MP. Most of the players, as far as I know, took saves as well, meaning they've had a week to kind of look at the state of the rest of the world. We haven't stopped them, as far as I know. How do you think that, possible pre-knowledge is going to affect tonight?
I think it's going to be hard to say, but I think the week, if the players have done their homework and their research, they will be looking further afield from their situations now, because they realized, I think, pretty early on last time that not having enough kids and not having enough ties everywhere is really slowing down the game. Especially when you have people like Kara, who just full-on storm in a teacup, just absolutely cut through Iberia. Everyone else is going, okay, I need to move a bit faster. So hopefully they've had some time to look at their dynastic plans. But honestly, I'm not completely certain on where they're going to go with their strategies. There's a lot of places people could go. And yeah, it's going to be up to the individual player's play style, I think.
Okay. All right, and we could go ahead and we can actually show that point system right now.
Yes, so we can see that the Grave One is sitting at 2 points currently because of Kingdom points. Snap strategy, of course, at 4 because 2 Kingdom points, 1 Empire point. And Kara is sitting at 5 Kingdom points in total. Unfortunately, Mordaith has not managed to snag any points because, well, dinner got spoiled. And then lastly, Quackhouse Spartini is sitting at 1 Kingdom point. So, Jibbly, what does all this mean?
Well, realistically, we would like to see Mordaith be able to kind of secure some points, get on the board. Seeing the empires is going to be really cool, but then we're also going to see some fracturing. So people might be losing points depending if they can't keep their empires together. So I don't think that this is going to be a continual build of points. I think we're going to see some up, some down, hopefully more up than down, of course. But yeah, until we can actually, stabilize partitioning and succession laws, we're going to have some issues every time a ruler dies.
Yeah, because if someone better at math than me looks at that scoreboard, that can see that not every point or every kingdom is created equal. You get more points for empires, then you get more points for Hispania, you get more points for the HRE and Byzantium. Am I missing anything, Midgeman?
No, that's correct. That's absolutely right. So it's 1 point for a kingdom, 2 point for an empire. HRE and the Byzantines are 3 points, and then Hispania is 5. So and that's where the big points are, which is why it's really scary that Kara has so much control of Iberia right now.
And Midgeman, do you think that we're going to see any assassinations coming up?
I've got good authority that we will.
That's fair. Okay, and did you want to real quick just go over Midgeman, just some of the rules that they have as far as that's concerned?
Like, for example, you can't just murder a player character willy-nilly. there are some things to think about, right?
Yes, there's a couple of things. We have the kind of basic Crusader Kings generalized multiplayer rules. You've got to leave an heir and a spare. People aren't allowed to be dethroned from their original starting duchy title. And there was also some limitations on the characters that they could create. But I recommend going back and watching episode 1 to see the character generation and going over the initial starting characters.
Yes, that was...
Yes, cKnoor, I just plugged the previous episode for you. There you go.
Very nice. Available on
very
YouTube,
smooth.
by the way. Should be a link in the description or Twitch chat, depending on where you're watching this.
Okay, so Midgeman and JibblyJam, we will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay, so
Some good insight there, I think.
Yes.
Going over the rules again, and as JibblyJam said, I think I'm going to agree with her in that it's not going to be a case of collecting all of the points. It's going to be a case of keeping the points, and hopefully we'll see that shift tonight.
definitely. And we do have Kara ready for us.
Ooh.
Hello there, lovely. How are you tonight?
Hi, I'm good. How are you two?
We're great. So, can you tell us what your plan is to keep your 5 points and expand, or did you want to keep that quiet for now?
Well, okay, so a couple of things. Like about the casters, what they had to say at the beginning. I like that Midgeman called me a storm in a teacup, did he say? I think that's cute. But also when he started talking about assassinations, it's like, woof, I don't know what I'm going to do if someone decides to poke me to death. Like, I don't know how to respond to that. I do have a Hail Mary that I'm going to try to throw, but no spoilers for that yet.
That's definitely fair. Maybe you could have a few more, maybe like some chess matches. Win those, maybe?
That is in the books, absolutely. Friendly
so-
chess matches.
A question for me then. Are you looking to get more points? I mean, it's pretty clear from people watching that you want that 5 Hispania points. Are you looking to grab more, or do you think like having 5 and holding them is going to be enough in this game?
I mean, obviously the goal is to do both, but one of my plans is also to try to get my family into more places, either by marrying or by, just diplomatic stuff, war stuff, intrigue stuff, like whatever I have to
The
do.
classic
I'm
strategy
going to keep throwing
things.
that lead.
Are
Some
you
stuff
Well, yeah, I mean,
going on.
Are you
just
a little
some stuff.
Are you a little nervous for when your ruler dies? Do you have a plan in place for that?
I don't do homework. I never did homework in school, so no, I don't. But I'm gonna feel it out and just do my best. That's all I can do.
Revert to Crusader Kings
Yes, I
2.
am nervous. I hope it doesn't happen.
Get no
Yeah.
mortality.
Just hope that he lives forever is what you're going for.
True,
Sometimes
that's my
it
plan.
works to fly by the seat of your pants. Sometimes that's a good strategy, right?
Being flexible, I think, is important. Have you
To
talked to
feel, yeah.
Have you talked to any of the other players between this week and last?
Like forming secret packs or anything like
Ex-
that? No,
yes,
but I
100%
have sent a
correct.
couple of vaguely threatening messages.
Okay.
Vaguely threatening in the context of the game, to be clear. But that's about it.
Okay, so, Cara, since they're probably listening but not necessarily watching, if you raise your hand and then kind of let me know how much, alliances you think you're going to go. You can either thumbs up if you think it's going to happen, thumbs down if you're going all on your own.
With other players?
Yes. I'm hiding my...
Okay.
Honestly, probably not. But
Okay. All right. Fair
Okay,
enough.
okay. Big
so,
thumbs up from Cara there, every other player listening in.
so on that note,
be
thank
my
you so
vassals,
much,
it's
Cara. And we're going to bring in Woody.
yeah, of course.
Thank you. Hello.
There he is,
Hi.
a very hungry man.
I'm so hungry.
That was going to be my first question, actually, was how hungry he was tonight.
Well,
mean-
France just showed up, so they brought some delightful new delicacies to the land, so that's good.
Maybe some croissants, escargot,
Sure.
an arm.
Secondary heirs? I don't know.
I hear like liver's really good.
Maybe a kidney.
Nice.
What are your plans for tonight?
Well, I got to finish that war I'm in. That'd be nice. Scrapping over some Welsh territory.
Ugh.
Got to get that fish and chips.
So what's your do you want to expose some of your plan for getting that point, getting one point on the board?
Getting 1 point. I don't know. I mean, I feel I'm having a hard time getting my claims verified and validated. Is there someone out there I could pay like $8 a month to just secure a title of some sort? No.
This is too topical. It's a very good joke, though. I appreciate it.
I'm just really hoping to expand my family right now. I have so few children. I'm relying on one of my daughters to produce heirs at this point.
I'm telling you,
which is not a good place to be for Crusader Kings.
You should have, taken the wife out shopping earlier, my friend.
She really had a problem with the priest accusing her of being a product of incest.
Oh my.
This does lead us into the, I think what might be the main topic of tonight, character assassinations. And I'm talking actual physical murder here. Do you think we'll see that from you or the other players tonight? Okay.
No comment.
I mean, I was going to say that's an answer.
It is an answer.
I don't think I'm going to be the target of any because just there's such a small pool. It would be a violation of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I can't reach out and try to make shadowy friends.
Sure.
That's what I was going to ask was, do you have any possible alliances, maybe, with another player?
Look, I tried making alliances. Something about my entire persona seems to turn people away.
I don't know what that could be.
I did wind up with one of the nice purple artifacts. So I've got this like really fancy throne that I can't use. So I might give that away as a gift to somebody.
There you go.
Okay, making a note.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that. That would be super interesting. I would enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try to make it nice and tantalizing for someone. Maybe invite them over for a nice meal and, offer them a throne.
Just how far do I want that thrown away from Alba is the question, right?
All right. Well, on that note, so it is time to move on. So thank you so much. We will see you soon. And we will be bringing in the Grave One next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How's Italy treating you?
Italy's treating me pretty well, I think. I think my strategy is much more of a slower strategy where everyone else is going super fast. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us really were expecting.
I'm pretty sure Kara was.
Well, of course, Kara, yeah. But I think at least everybody here in the studio, maybe most of the other players weren't exactly, including the casters, I don't think, were quite expecting to see movement that quickly.
So, do you want to reveal your strategy for tonight? I'm going to assume the answer is no, but please tell us something anyways.
I feel open. I would like to share. I guess my strategy is really, there's a couple of nations in Italy and the HRE that have kind of escaped. They are going to be rejoining the HRE. I'm planning to make them all come back. And I'm really setting up for succession. That's really my only strategy, is trying to set up my heir to succeed, not really to expand too much myself.
Okay. That's a nice strategy. And are we going to see some more incarcerated Tims?
I don't believe so. I kind of have learned that maybe that wasn't the best strategy to imprison my kids so they can't do anything. So we're going to probably pass on doing that again.
I don't know. Like, there are so many people having opinions about parenting that aren't parents themselves.
It's true.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, there are two ways to bring up a kid. Inside the dungeons or not.
I mean, there's something to be said for raising a child in the dungeon. At least you know where they are, I guess.
Exactly. You don't have to worry.
Exactly.
Speaking of worrying, are you worried about having some part of your dynasty assassinated by the other players?
A little bit. I'm a little worried about my daughter in Sicily, the queen. Currently, I'm a little worried about that. But I'm just saying, other people should be worried too. So.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
intriguing.
So would you go on the record and say that you would be answering fire with fire then?
I might be the one that has to be answered back to.
Ooh.
I might be striking first.
Oh, okay. Well, that should make most of them quiver in their boots, except possibly Mordaith, mainly because
I can't reach Mordaith.
So maybe Mordaith is a little bit safe.
Safe.
All right, guys. On that note, so we will see you soon, Grave One, and next we have Snap Strategy. Hello.
Hello.
Inheritor of the big blue blob.
Yes. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Excited to get back into it.
Mm-hmm. So have you, do you feel like, have you learnt anything from last week going into this week that you didn't realize before starting week one?
Well, I think it went quite well last week, so I think today I'm just going to try more of the same, just do a lot of wars, and then just try and take a lot of land, and then like give my children land underneath me. So at least I know they're hopefully safe.
Yep.
And are you
I mean, until Grave murders me. Yeah, definitely with Grave plotting some of them murders.
I was saying he was pretty open about it, and there's not that many people around that he could potentially be murdering.
Yeah, definitely. And what about for when your ruler dies? Do you have a set plan to keep everything together once that happens?
Not really, because I'm just gonna hope. Because I think if I set a plan and that plan goes wrong, I wouldn't know what to do. So if I just don't set a plan and just go with it, hope for the best.
Right, just maybe plan in the moment once you get there.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, it's worked so far, right?
It has.
Sometimes you just have to rely on your innate ability to be really good at Crusader Kings III.
It's true. I mean, that's why they were invited after all, right? Because they know the game. So that'll be interesting to see how he keeps that together.
Mm-hmm. So strategy-wise, get land, give it to kids, try not have them be murdered. Would that kind of...
Yeah, that's like the general plan. Hope it goes well.
Any particular areas of land that your kids are eyeing?
I want to go to Scandinavia. It's quite empty, so if I go that way, maybe.
Sure.
So not towards Kara, then?
Or...
Not just yet. Maybe if I build more power, but I think right now it'd be a bit dangerous.
No, isn't there like a tiny part of the Iberian Peninsula that's blue at the moment? Like in the upper northwestern part?
I think you're right.
And hopefully my kid should be inheriting Castile soon, so hopefully I'll have at least some land there.
That'd be interesting.
Just a tiny bit of land. Sure, fair enough.
All right, Snap Strategy. We will catch up with you soon. And next, we're going to be inviting in SpartiniMartini. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
And would you like to reveal some of your strategy tonight?
Ooh, last time I was very close to capturing the Byzantine Empire. So my first strat is, of course, to finish that war. And then I think it's going to be very unstable. Because it's a known unstable region. It's hopefully I can make it a bit more stable, but I'm not sure.
And are you possibly planning to go after another player?
I have a plan for that. If the stabilization goes all right.
Okay. All right. So we'll have to wait and see for this too.
Yeah, one of the things I find interesting in that, I'm sorry, SpartiniMartini, you didn't get too many points last weekend, but that was mainly because your plans didn't really come to fruition within the time frame. Like talking to the casters, looking at the state of well, looks like you're in queue to end up on the Byzantium throne this session probably, and that's going to give you. I think the technical term is loads of points.
Right.
Do you think there's going to be a difference when you actually have all of those points? Are the players around you going to look at you differently, or do you think you can get away with it because going into this, Kara sitting at the top with most points currently?
I think Kara's going to be above the rest of us for quite a while, but I plan on overtaking her at some point. Hopefully.
So speaking of Karan overtaking other players, I know some of them are worried, rightfully so, in some parts, about like the death of their current ruler, which is the one, of course, you all created when you started last week. Any worries about that on your end?
A little, yeah. The Greek culture adds a penalty for short reign duration. I think it's plus 30% or plus 50%. So it's going to be a while until that penalty's gone with the vassals. So during that, I got to try and keep them happy.
Okay, so thank you so much, and we will let you get ready.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm sorry. I feel like I know there's probably a bunch of people watching that are like, we should start the game right now. But at the same time, I just want to ask people stuff.
yeah, that's super interesting, and I can't wait to get into tonight. I think that it is going to be an extremely interesting 2 hours of play.
Yes.
Yes, it is going to be, I think, probably jam-packed. They're going to lose their rulers very shortly.
Yep.
Despite Kara hoping that hers lives forever, they are going to lose them shortly, which is going to kind of throw their countries into probably a little bit of chaos. And then I think we're going to see some wars that I don't think I was necessarily expecting to see. Okay.
Do you want to make a prediction on what those wars would be, or are you going to be like? I mean, you know what? I will allow you to just be like, no, and then come back in like an hour or 2 hours and be like, this is what I thought would happen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at the beginning of the stream, I was going to sit there, at the beginning of our show, I was going to sit there and go, it's definitely going to be Kara and Snap Strategy.
Yeah.
But now that we talked to them, I'm kind of wondering what the Grave One has in store. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And on that note, we do actually have our casters ready to go.
So, yeah, it's interesting interviews there. I'm surprised at Snap Strategy's line of thinking there and avoiding the war with Kara. Snap is in the best position to attack Kara. They still hold dynastically almost Castile and that little portion of Galicia, which is going to make the struggle extended. But I don't know if it's going to buy them enough time. I think that not taking the advantage there is going to give Kara the opportunity to possibly muscle them out of Iberia. What do you think, Jibbly?
Well, I am not sure if maybe Snap's strategy here to go into Scandinavia is just, it's free real estate. I mean, why, it's like animals don't, hunt a challenging, target for their prey. They go after, what's easy. So why would, they want to battle with Kara in Iberia when they could just go take over Scandinavia? It's a lot of kingdoms. You can get empire titles over there, and you don't even have to have super hardcore bloodshed. I think it's a good call.
Yeah, something I wanted to quickly cover as well, which we didn't actually cover in the first episode with the character curation, is everyone seems to have picked the local culture as their culture, which they weren't tied to do. And now some of the cultures, especially with the update that came in with Royal Court, have a lot of benefits. And if we drop in game here, I can just possibly highlight what I'm kind of talking about for the uninitiated at the very least here. So I'm going to pick, for example, the Andalusian culture. They have ties to ritualized friendship, which makes it easy to grab friends, which is actually a really strong one. But there are some of the cultures have significantly better benefits than others. Spartini was talking about how the Greek culture has a negative to ruler reign time. And I was thinking, then why didn't they pick a culture other than Greek? Because, yes, it wouldn't help when it's the whole Byzantium level, but if you can start to convert some stuff, just as a little side mission, it might actually help you snowball a bit better. I would have also picked probably a culture that has horse archers, because horse archers are so strong. The Wallachian culture is a really particularly nice one. for those. But anyway, we will get into game. I'm going to unpause this and we can get going. So just as a reminder, we currently have the Grave One in Italy. SpartiniMartini is in Greece. We have Kara by the name of Speed 5 is kind of dominating Iberia. Snap strategy here is the Empire of Francia, and Hungry Mordaith in the north of Britannia. I want to quickly focus, however, on this war over here that Epirus is running. Hold on, let's click the... Oh my gosh, I've forgotten how to control. Jibbly, how do I control the game?
So if you want to observe from their point of view, you click the ruler. Now if you
doesn't seem to be working for me.
Click the duchy titles, kingdom titles, empire titles, realm titles. I don't know, what are you trying to look at?
No, it's not really working for me. It's not swapping properly. Oh well. I will find another way to find it. I was just kind of trying to see if I could get a look at the war going on here.
Well, they've just become the emperor, so that's pretty exciting.
We've got some really points on the exciting. Board. That's some more points on the board. That actually brings Spartini up to 4 points because of the price of Byzantium. So Byzantium actually grants them 3 points, taking them to 4, making them joint second with Snap strategy.
And
very
Spartini
nice.
Has jumped right back into another war for some de jure land. Now that they've got empire, they're just gonna fill out their borders. We like pretty borders.
Okay, it's allowing me to click now. It just took some weird tabbing in and out. Sorry about that, people watching. But as we can see, we have a Basilius here. Basilius Gigachadius Maximus of the Byzantine Empire. Awesome. Fantastic. I still need to give absolute credit to SpartiniMartini making this dynasty as luxurious as this icon is. Look at House Quack House. It's fantastic there.
When we look at all the players, I think the only person that's not in a war right now is France.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so everyone else is in battle mode.
That is very, very interesting. I am interested also to see what everyone's health is like. So, Kara's character health is, let's hover over. She's fine. Okay, athletic, giving some health bonuses there. The reason I'm checking is because of the age of these characters now. Okay, temperate here on Snap's character, also aiding with the HP. I just really worry about their health. I think Mordaith might be the first to go looking at it currently.
Yeah, he's the oldest as well.
Mm-hmm. He's the oldest, and he's got the negative from Flagellant. Kara actually just becoming stressed. The Grave One here, Tim of House Tim, actually got good HP right now because they've got reinvigorating friendship, temperate, athletic, and stubborn, all providing health bonuses. So we were wondering that, hey, these characters might be on the death's door soon, but actually, I think we've got a little bit of time.
One thing I love is that stubborn, because you're too stubborn to die, that it gives you
absolutely.
a health bonus.
Stubborn used to be an awful trait in CK. Now it's one of the best. Honestly, it's such a good trait. Because let me just go over where stubborn is. Who is it that has it? Oh, I think they've just lost it. Wait, no, it was Tim, wasn't it? Tim of House Tim has stubborn. The Grave One. Yeah, so stubborn is actually +3 stewardship and a small health bonus. Yes, it's a -5 of opinion on liege, opinion, and vassals, but 5 opinion boost on 2 different types of people for +3 stewardship and a health boost to resisting diseases is fantastic. And the Grave One really trying to speed up the pace here, going for those 2 wars again. Didn't they almost get ahead of themselves with 2 war last time?
I do kind of recall that. Also, looking at the actual numbers here, it's looking like they've got the numbers to win both of these wars. I don't think it's an issue for them as long as they can. I think the strategy here is you focus one, you peace out, and then you come back for the second one. I don't think you try to fight both fronts at the same time.
No, I'm inclined to agree because they're fighting 12,000 people. They've got 14,000. Attrition should do some numbers here as long as they, like you say, divide and conquer. I'd actually be going for the more powerful war first. They seem to be dealing with the weaker side first. I think I'd actually be trying to focus on Genoa first and get them out.
It looks like that one was started 23 months ago as opposed to the other one. So I think that they took their second war at an opportune time and just had to declare it before it got either maybe they could have lost their claim.
One of these is a defending war.
Oh,
they're defending in the second. The one with the larger amount of troops is a
is.
defense war. It's a liberty war. Genoa has declared a liberty war, and then they're pulling allies in from Italy. So they weren't actually expecting this one.
Gotcha.
Cara currently not doing much, just kind of solidifying her. Wait. No, that is a kingdom still. Okay, it was the fancy Iberian. Wait, why does that look like an empire title? That did look like an empire title for a moment. I'm very confused. Is that? Hang on. That is the shape of an empire title. What am I? Can you? That's only a kingdom title, right? In Iberia.
Yeah, Hispania can't be formed yet because of the struggle.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering why graphically it's showing me it as an empire title for me. Very confused with the fancy laurels around it. Let's be checking with Mordaith. Have they got any plots going? We've currently got a friend scheme going for a member of Snap Strategies family and also Snap Strategies Spy Master.
That sounds like someone's trying to recruit agents in a assassination plot.
It does. It really does. I'll leave Mordaith to it. Who knows? It could just be dinner invitations, which is both a threat and an act of kindness in his case. Byzantium. Ooh, already in another war against itself. This is going to be the main issue, and this is one of the reasons why Byzantium is a 3-point holding compared to other empire titles. Is there's so many claimants, and it's very difficult to hold on to. So already Spartini is in a defensive war here as Duke, as they try to make the claim for Duke Isaacos, the Impaler of Antioch, claim on the title, and it's relatively even sides, so 23,000 on the defense versus 17,000 rebels. It's going to be very draining keeping all of this down.
Yeah, just for reference, there are 17 claimants on the Empire of Byzantium versus 1 on the Empire of Francia. So as far as keeping that and not having factions rise up against you, it seems like that's going to have to probably be going on for a while, just trying to defend that title and keep everyone happy.
And there's some very interesting and influential people that could be put onto that Byzantine throne. For example, the Queen of Ruthenia currently has a claim. Just the AI could come stomping on in.
If you were another player and you had someone show up at your court with a claim to the Byzantine Empire, would you press it?
Oh, I would marry them into my family like no tomorrow. They would be sent right to the doors of the breeding program, or shall I call it the pleasure palace. And they may have any of my sons or daughters or whatever the preference is, and they will, as long as, hey, even adopt, as long as it's got my name on it, I'd want it. That's like they're allowed to stay around. That's a shut up and take my money kind of moment. I definitely would want that claim, and I'd want to keep trying to pass that claim. I don't think I'd press it right away. I'd want to use it at an opportune moment to try and steal the points, because part of almost the meta of this event is gathering claims more than anything, and firing those claims at opportune times. Because if it's a title like Byzantium where you've got to try and hold on to it, I want to do that in the last session. I want that to be something that I don't have to keep fighting over, that just takes my energy, takes my manpower, and takes my focus. I want that to be, okay, I'm going to go for a big point grab now that I've got my base of power elsewhere. That would be my 2 cents on the matter anyway.
Yeah, that's a good closer for sure. I have a rules question for you. What is the situation with children that are born out of wedlock? Do we allow points for legitimized bastards? How does that function?
If they've been legitimized, then fine. If they are bastards and they create their own bastard dynasty, it doesn't count because they're no longer part of your dynasty. As long as your name's on it, it's fine.
Okay. So
I just
it's like
imagine
your leftovers in the work fridge.
Yeah, exactly. It's I just imagine these CK characters going around with like one of those little what's it called, like label makers, just putting their name on everything, just on the forehead of children, just like mine. So one thing I want to check is snap. Oh, you were going to say something there? You heard an ooh?
Sorry, yes, there is a jihad going on right now.
Oh,
Kara is fighting quite a few people right now. She's
Navarra has
fighting
pulled Castile and Francia and the HRE in the defense, and Scotland. Oh my lord, that's a huge war. This is a huge war. 17,000 on the Christian. Oh no, wait, no, that's more. That's not 17,000. That's 170. Oh, so I don't know if anybody saw it, but from the EU4 event on last Thursday, I shared a screenshot that Kara created, which was a coalition war she took, which was her 80,000 versus 500,000 HRE members. I'm getting flashbacks to that right now because 31,000 hardy Iberians are fighting 170,000 Catholics right now. Not to mention that there are a couple of players involved in this conflict right now. The war screen has kind of glitched out for me. I tried to click the allies there. So Snap is actually in on this. So is the Grave One. Oh, okay. This is really gonna be a bit of a nail in the coffin here. I don't think it's gonna really destroy Kara because she's the attacker. She can't lose anything from this except for men and money. What I wanted to check on before this war starts.
A truce. That could be.
It could be. I mean, the truce is worth a lot. It's just got to be down to how many resources everyone puts into this. She doesn't want to get weakened too much because she doesn't want to be counter-crusaded because there is no truce timer on a crusade firing in response to a jihad. There is a chance that, okay, currently, yes, if Castile dies in this war, Snap is going to get the throne of Castile. His son... one of his kids is in line. Or one of his family, should I say. I think his daughter's kid is in line.
Yeah.
Anyway. Have we had a battle in this conflict yet? I am unsure. Now...
Not seen that, but Kara did just win a chess game. That's
wow, amazing.
In indomitable odds.
Yeah. The thing is as well, that unlike EU4 and other PDX titles, there isn't fort mechanics that will block any troops from piling into Iberia here, just attrition. So Kara really can't split her forces. She also needs to be really wary that people will just be coming from all angles. And in fact, the Grave One has landed troops in the south to wreak havoc on her capital, along with some French armies. They're working together here. The Grave One and Snap Strategy have their troops actually in Kara's capital right now, whilst it's mainly the AI here in southern France.
Yeah, it's looking like she was
I
trying to
think Kara's-
focus her sieges, but I think she now realizes she needs to turn around and retake her capital.
Yep. These sieges, I think there's some very unfortunate RNG going against Kara here because, for example, House Tim only has 20 mangonels here, but they've managed to get quite a few sieges. There are troops coming for her, and the French have left. Tim needs to move here as Kara comes flooding on down. I think they're going to get away with it, but I'm not quite sure. It says currently that a battle will happen in 17 days. They might not escape in time. This could be a loss here for Italy. The thing is, the smaller players do not want to overextend in this. Let Snap and Kara fight this. Oh, and they've been caught. And it's looking brutal. The real thing here, though, is going to be the damages post-battle in the retreat phase here. We'll see the battle review in a moment. There we are. Let's get the battle report and look at the details. Total kills. Ooh, it's looking... that's a little bit rough. And... no way. Okay, that's the mayor. I thought for a moment the king died in that battle. I was like, oh my lord. No. But yeah, Kara's forces doing excellent work there. Far more knights, which are really the combat bonus in CK3. Knights and your retinue. A lot of damage coming out.
She's also upgraded her army. Looks like she's put quite a bit of money into upgrading her troops.
What retinue is she running currently? Okay, so she's 6 out of 6. She's got pike, light horse, calabros. Okay, so she's got the special Iberian light cavalry. She's got bowmen, got 2 onagers, some armored footmen, and some camel riders. Camel riders are really excellent because they counter light cavalry, which a lot of like Iberian players will be using in this period. It's a very big investment in cavalry, which is why we're seeing such a deficit in her monthly spending right now. I think in a defensive scenario, I'd want a few more pikemen instead of all this cavalry. Cavalry aren't really beneficial until the retreat phase. And I think you can kind of, in this kind of period, you can do a very similar job with some light infantry. But either way, still a very strong composition there for the men-at-arms. Let's quickly look at the Emperor of France as well. It's probably the biggest matchup in terms of men-at-arms. A lot of bowmen, a lot of pikemen, a full complement of light horsemen, 2 full complements of armored infantry, and a full complement of mangonels. That is a potent selection of men-at-arms there from the Emperor of France. That's some... It's very expensive, but that's going to be very hard to beat in this period. Because we're only 51 years into the game? No, 41 years into the game? 41 years into the game. Quick math. A lot of attrition coming in, though, currently for the Catholic side. These odds aren't looking good for Kara. But the thing is, Kara isn't one who ever gives up. So she's going to fight this 100% to its extent. She's not going to try and get an early piece. Taking a very bad combat there against the Duchy of... Oh, no, she got stack wiped. And we're also going to see possibly another stack wipe to the Western battle. The Eastern battle has re-continued here. The Pope is fighting her currently. Outliving a child. A Chad died. Prince Big Boy died in this battle. Oh, this is looking rough. Kara, make sure you get your family members off of being knights. That's going to be a big loss, possibly to the. Well, actually, it might help her with the succession right now because she's got a lot of titles that are going to split out. But that's rough. So if people don't know what I meant there, automatically your nation assigns knights, and you can tell them to. You can force people to be knights. You can allow people to be knights. I would, in this certain scenario, as a tactic, I would be forbidding my children to be knights because we need as many dynasty members as possible to make sure that we have as many opportunities as possible. Kara's going for the complete opposite, and she's forcing her kids to die in battle.
She did technically, that was a win as far as the screen, but also Francia is now infirm, so we might have our first ruler death.
Ooh.
Yeah, so snap
Interesting.
strategy.
Yep, that's severe health penalty. They're still feeling fine because of medicine, focus, and temperate, but a severe health penalty is not a good one. Plus all those trait negatives, it's really going to slow you down. The loss of dread, and also the loss of prowess and fertility. No more breeding for this man.
However, what I will say is
uh,
the succession is safe. There's only the one son that is inheriting all of the titles, so
yes,
we're not
one
going
has
to
been
see,
disinherited.
Yeah, we're not going to see like the splitting up of the Empire of Francia.
Yep. Disinheriting. I get why you want to do it, but I'm not sure of its relevance in this game mode unless they re-inherit them next time. But the thing is, renown is also the tiebreak point. Whoever has the highest renown, if there's a tiebreak, wins. That's the final score. So spending it on that, probably not as high merit as possible. I will note, though, Snap Strategy has actually got themselves another point. They have a third kingdom. England has fallen to their family.
Excellent.
Taking them to tying with Kara, which is also very exciting. So joint first, we have Snap Strategy and Kara, followed by SpartiniMartini currently. Followed by the Grave One, followed by Mordaith, who is yet to get on the board. Mordaith is currently betrothed to a child, really looking to make as many kids as possible. Does he still have a family member who still has big beef down in Italy? So he does have a route to really disrupt the Grave One if he wants to. So we'll see what happens there. Grave One's still only on the 1 point. Byzantium still only the one kingdom and the Byzantine title currently. Hang on. What is this? The French war for Lennart Estrid's claim on the Kingdom of Denmark, but is Byzantium in on that? No, I was misreading that massively. Is this? Oh, that's really sneaky. So, Snap Strategy has a matrilineal marriage to this claimant for Denmark. And they've just won, so their family is eventually going to inherit Denmark, possibly, if he can murder this Midgeman, who is the current heir. And it's under the Empire of Francia title. Interesting. So that's not a point yet, but it's securing one for later. I was really confused because I was clicking on the Byzantines. I was thinking, why is the Byzantines all Denmark and Francia? Apologies there, friends. My clicks are just completely off today. Just blame me. Just blame me. I'm bad. That's what it is. I'm an awful caster. Murders being committed here. I see. Spartini is currently getting rid of some claimants. It seems. Going through and murdering some claimants, hopefully securing the title a little bit better. There's down to 17 claimants now, as they slowly kill off some children that seem to have claims.
So one thing that I always enjoy looking at is court grandeur, because that's probably one of my favorite things. So let's see here. Byzantine 14th in the world. And I'm going to check on Francia. 12th. Okay. Looking like we have some pretty
Kara
sweet
completing
artifacts.
another war against Navarra that isn't a jihad.
Probably for the better, not
Interesting.
to fight all of Europe.
Yes, very much so. But this could be another kingdom level title that they claim here. Retaining their lead if they make it. Just need the money now, I believe, to form that title.
Now, once she secures Iberia, do you think she's going to be going down into Northern Africa, kind of the same way that we're going to see Snap Strategy try to go into Scandinavia for that uncontested AI land? Or do you think she's pushing up?
That would be my go of it. If Kara's really feeling strong in her position, I would actually start. Like, the safe option is to go down to Africa. There's so many claims and so many titles that she can essentially body block away from the other players just for the geographical position. However, I would really like to see her, like, you know, go, oh, I'm going to now go to Ireland, or I'm now going to be in Ruthenia, because I think not the other European players aren't necessarily going to go to the Africa area. So to think outside the box and to really like secure herself is to draw their attention away from Iberia and the south, do that as a secondary objective and start essentially just causing havoc elsewhere, destabilizing them by grabbing counties and duchies that they might need to make titles, even making some titles, say, over in the east themselves. So just seeing a message from Kara in our little sneaky talent room for this event, that she was, there goes my Hail Mary. So the Hail Mary she was speaking of in the interview earlier seems to have been that jihad. Not probably underestimating how many Catholics might join that. Of course, with the jihad, any land she would have sieged down in Iberia, I believe, would have flipped to her had she won.
I'm curious to see what she does with the Castile situation now that Castile has some very, very powerful allies.
Well, yeah, it's currently about to fall straight to Snap's throne. She needs to get some murdering going. Good old Caliph Sigma needs to pull that dagger out and start throwing it at people, I think.
I believe Spartini's ruler has died, and we are now seeing Chattis on the throne.
Really? How are things for Mordaith? Currently just doing some learn language schemes, trying to learn the language of he's trying to learn French currently, it seems. Maybe to try and do some more disrupting of Snap Strategy's throne from the inside. I'd really like to see them get a point on the board, though. They've taken a lot more land in Wales, however. Could be going for the Kingdom of Wales title. In fact, what do they need for the Kingdom of Wales title? Just money. Oh, and to be independent. They need to be independent of Scotland to become Wales. Oh, that's sad. Come on, Mordaith, you can do it. Eat the king. Eat the King of Scotland. The King of Scotland, actually, quite scary at Intrigue. It's probably where Mordaith's struggling slightly. How is the Grave One doing? That's another question. Still only on the one kingdom title. Wait. No, they're on 2 kingdom titles, aren't they? Yes, they're on 2 kingdom titles. Because their dynasty owns Sicily as well. I need to remember to check over on the renown scheme for the full breakdown of titles sometimes like that. Now that they're starting to spread outside of court, that's the fastest way to do it. Use the tooltip, hover over the renown gain, and you actually get a breakdown of living members, who the house leader is, and the amount of other titles from king and above. That's what I'll be using to fact check when it comes to it at the end of sessions, just to make sure that my eyes have not deceived me. The Byzantines looking a little bit more solid now. SpartiniMartini getting a handle of the reins. It was looking a bit... Oh, as I was saying that, however, there is a claimant demand with the right to rule Byzantium. It's as if I... Oh, dear. Okay, so this is what I was saying about the Byzantines. It's a rough one to hold because currently they've got no allies as well. Now that they're Chattis as well, their father dying. We've had the first character death. If you guys had Byzantium as the first character death on your bingo card, you are winners. But Byzantium, whilst in the hands of House Crackhouse and the Kingdom titles still in the hands of Crackhouse, this is looking a little bit rough because there's only 9,000 Byzantines here against 22,000 rebels. How would you get out of this, Jibbly?
That's a tough one. I think, there are quite a few people that I probably would be looking at for allies. I'd also probably try to, because if you take a peek at the factions, I would just immediately try to make as many friends as I could within all of these, the 13 members, especially of that installation faction. But the other thing here is that you don't want to give anyone too much land, too much power. So I'm not sure if marrying off your children to these people is necessarily... Oh, actually, Chattis only has 3 kids.
Yes. I was just laughing at one of the names of a princess. Not now, I'm busy! Is my favorite of mine, who is currently married into Ruthenia. That could be a powerful ally that they can nab to do this war with. I think they just got them. They have pulled them in as well. That's looking a bit better on the board on the scores. There's also a peasant revolt that's going to do absolutely nothing. I think they've got time. Maybe try to pick off some of these smaller armies while they're roaming about before the bigger armies can form up. Hopefully their ally will come down. I think they've also managed to get an alliance with Poland as well through marriage. Unfortunately, I think though they're going to be... Yeah, these betrothals aren't matrilineal in the case of his female characters, and aren't necessarily claimants in the case of his male characters. I think this is a claim of necessity. This is why it's going to pay to have a big dynasty in this game, because you need to have as many marriages as possible. Because if you need to pull in alliances or use tactical marriages for alliances as well, just for pure manpower, you're going to start to run out of actual options for expansion and getting points on the board. Because you have in 10 years time, when they're looking to get their next title under the control, maybe it's going to start looking bad that you had to get rid of your daughter for that for the manpower 10 years prior just to hold on to the Byzantines.
Yeah, I would say that's probably one of the biggest advantages to going with Muslim faith or something that will allow you to have multiple wives. Even the consorts are good. Just need more kids. We're seeing that issue. Spartini has 3. Mordaith has also died, leaving Prime Rib in charge.
Oh no, we've had another. We had Mordin die, and now we're Prime Rib. The delicate. That's a health penalty. Not as evil, it seems, as the previous one.
Would love to see Mordaith gain independence this session.
Ooh. Just gained Holy Warrior for free, Mordaith. That could help. Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to gain themselves independence, unless they're trying to work it so that now with this more popular character, they take Scotland, and then when they take Scotland, they grab Wales for the double point. I'd also
How
be
difficult
looking
do you think it
really
would be
rapidly to.
secure Ireland?
That's what I was
Only
about to
looks
say.
like, yeah.
It's 2 titles at this point. You could two very easy claims to get a hold of all of Ireland and grab that kingdom as well, which I think Mordaith needs to do. A power base needs to be established over here, especially with how much Francia has encroached. Speaking of snap strategy, what have we got going on? We have a fabricate hook scheme on King Eric, probably to force a betrothal, perhaps. Oh. I think Snap Strategy's line of getting into Denmark has been blocked. I don't think they're going to inherit Denmark onto their family anymore. Okay, that plan might have backfired. They've got a lot of schemes going on, though. They've got a couple of sway schemes and an abduct scheme. Very, very interesting. How is the Basilius' war? It's 11% in their favor. Currently, they are just sieging down various ducal capitals, trying to block them out of the war. Yeah, this is looking far more in their favor now. 28,000 on the defense versus 12,000 on the offense.
Yeah, I think as long as they are picking their battles, they should be fine in this war. And then if we're looking at the factions, it looks like they've actually gotten rid of a lot of the discontent in their nation. So looks like Spartini's been on the diplomacy.
Interesting. Over in Iberia, the king of Castile lost a rebellion to Leon. Leon has been split free from Castile, and now Cara's jumping on it. So Castile, which in its entirety was going to go to Snap Strategy's family, has actually split before it's fallen into Snap's hands, and Cara is making the most of this and trying to gain some title there. Although, I think Cara just became depressed. No, they went for Frozen Grief, which is a very rough title. Effect to gain. Also, Cara's also infirm now, so I don't think Sigma the Crownless is long for this world either. Let's hope that they can get this subjugation of Leon done nice and swiftly here.
Yeah, I guess that is one of the downfalls. If you have 4 wives, then it's 4 people you have to deal with the effects of if they die or other RNG events. But
Mordaith seems to be at war, a liberty war in Scotland, and they have more men. So, liberty war will force the king to abdicate, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it will give Mordaith the title. It may perhaps give them independence or the chance to move for independence later. I'm not quite sure why this claim has happened. Maybe the king was trying to revoke one of their titles and they just said no. Cara here going to this is a subjugation, so it won't gain her the title. However, it does stop one of the other players nabbing this kingdom from underneath her. Now it's split out, so I think this is a very good move. Just secure it and then put a family member on it once it's underneath you. How's the Grave one doing? They've currently got a murder scheme for the Prince of the Holy Roman Empire. Interesting. Trying to destabilize the Holy Roman Empire from within. That's actually something to note. With the Holy Roman Empire, what is the election like? So, Tim of House Tim does count as a candidate and has 2 electoral votes. So they're ranked 2 in the voting. Oh, so they're trying to get rid of the heir currently to see if they can become the Holy Roman Emperor through the voting. Interesting.
Again, that's a tough one to take so early on, because then you have to continue to secure that. It's the same thing with the Byzantine Empire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a bit more diplomatic with the Holy Roman Empire, obviously with the electoral voting system, but the electoral voting system is a difficult mechanic to navigate in its own right. One, the Byzantines is at least you know how to swing a sword and it can be straightforward. However, with the election, any plots, any wars, anything can affect the inheritance, and it can flip right before your eyes, right before your succession. So, I actually rate the HRE as slightly harder to hold on to. Maybe less volatile if you can keep everyone's opinion up. However, it's the one that you can lose in a matter of 30 seconds compared to the Byzantines, where at least you know you can go down fighting.
So, right now, King Tim is a diplomatic negotiator, which is great for the HRE, but the heir has a steward bonus. So it doesn't seem like moving forward, they're going to have to really try to finagle those alliances and keeping those votes going their way.
Yeah, Tim 2 is a little bit lackluster. No stat above 10 except for prowess, which is 10. This is kind of D&D peasant stats, is how I would describe this character. It's not much going for them. Brave is nice. Trusting is nice. Arbitrary is a little rough. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do with that. Byzantines getting a handle over their war. It's a very slow one, though. The enemy's down to just 2,000 men, so they're going to win this, but it's taking a lot of time and energy. And this is the thing I mentioned. Holding on to the Byzantines, because you're actively fighting, it takes a lot of micro, it takes a lot of focus. So you can't necessarily be very macro on the diplomatic game and trying to secure those extra connections, shall we say.
I just want a baby naming heads up. Mordaith just had a child named Satan. So maybe
Satan
not as
prime rib.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more evil than we originally thought.
Perhaps. We're gonna see which of these he takes. He's just got an event where he could possibly grab Flagellant again. Yep, he grabbed Flagellant. Interesting. I'm seeing a disturbing amount of characters whipping themselves up in Scotland. I mean, we can't shame them for it, but I feel like it's not in the spirit of the event right now. Like, they need to be making children rather than getting on that. Let's have a look how Kara is doing. Currently out of her war, but the succession has happened. Look at the split of Iberia now. She did manage to get one of her family members onto the throne of Leon before the end there, so we are going to see an extra point. However, they are split between the dynasty massively. Now, I wonder, will she try to solidify it again, or will we see other things happen here? So House Chad still got the 6 titles. I will just use the renown button to check. Get 6 kings.
If you
no
click
emperors.
by the way, it'll show you where the family is. If you click the renown thingy.
Oh, you mean it opens the dynasty map mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just using it to count those of rank. Here we can see the full list. So we have Caliph Omega, Malik Sigma, Malik Sigma, Malik Abu Bakr ibn Sigma. We have Malik Abul Ramdan ibn Sigma, and Malik Chadley ibn Sigma. The naming convention is fantastic, I think. But yeah, this is prime opportunity for some destabilization to come in from Francia as well. Iberia is in its weakest time. This is where the players need to dive on in and overthrow some Chads. If not, I think Kara will reform pretty easily and manage to get that big green blob again. Her points are still secured. It's just the actual nation power now that is weaker that presents themselves with an opportunity. So, Jibbly, looking at the state of the game right now, who do you think is in the strongest position?
Well, I would probably have to say Byzantium, but I know that it's a very volatile spot to hold. As far as just raw manpower goes, if they can keep it together, they have some serious steamroll power. But knowing that they have, 17, 16 claimants, I actually would say probably Francia, especially with their expansion going east into Scandinavia, that actually freaks me out, particularly if I was Mordaith, because Mordaith is getting a little blocked out with not as many places to go, losing England. And if they, even if they secure the Isles, they can't necessarily go into Scandinavia. I'm curious to see what happens with Italy, though. I think Italy is a bit of a slow burn. I think that the Grave One has some schemes going on that I think we'll see come to fruition here. It's got a very big line, a lot of interesting betrothals and marriages.
So during that discussion, actually, Snap Strategy managed to secure another kingdom point through the murder of Castile. So Snap now back into the same score as Kara. Both of them now on 6.
Oh, geez.
Wait, no, they think they gained Denmark as well. Hang on, some point adding 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's... Hang on. What did they lose? Oh, and the Emperor owns 2. Yes, hang on. There's a lot of points here. Snap has taken a real point advantage here. Yeah, massively. By a whole... They're on 7 now. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 5 kingdom titles, 1 empire title, taking them to a total of 7. Kara still on just the 6 kingdom titles down there in Iberia.
And in a succession, let's see what happens after Emperor Marcus dies. Are they going to be able to keep all of this land?
I think they will. They've managed to disinherit their sons enough that only Prince Arius. No, it's Arius. Oh, that's the Byzantines. Sorry.
No. Yeah,
but, so it's Prince Bertrand. Oh, Prince Bertrand. That's the one that's been befriending Mordaith.
Oh no. I hope that that's a good thing.
I don't know how that's gonna go.
Sneaky.
Yes. Yeah, the King of Denmark has been disinherited, but they managed to swing that. I think that must have been because there was a couple of schemes going on there. So I think they favor hooked their way through Denmark. I think they got enough favors and hooks on the King of Denmark to force them to abdicate and give their son, who was married to a claimant, the title. Wow, that's some political machinations right there. If that's what happened, we'll have to ask in interview how they managed that, because I kind of only half got the information there. Aragon losing to Kara, just going around solidifying, it seems, trying to get those kingdom titles under her thumb. directly again. Yeah, that's very interesting to see how what happens on the death of Francia, and to see if any players start getting to the Kingdom of France. Because the thing is, as well, England is led by children. The inheritance line of England, just 2 murders, and it's back to the Godwins. So there's a point that's quite easy for Snap to lose. Denmark, a couple of murders. That's out of their dynasty as well. It looks good on paper right now, but I don't think the dynasty is big enough to secure this many kingdoms yet. So if a player can, you know, find a well-placed knife or a slightly angry snake in the right location, or explode a good toilet, I think they'll, you know, I think they'll be able to knock Snap off of this early perch they've got on. Byzantines out of their war, currently murdering the King of Hungary. Now, why are they murdering the King of Hungary? What do they have going on there? The heir of Hungary is matrilineally married to a quack house. And, should I say, the once heir, as they've just taken over as the King of Hungary, meaning that in just one more solid murder, the Kingdom of Hungary will be of House Quack. That's a good get. That's a very good.
Byzantium do they have?
Very good question. Their family currently only has the 1 kingdom in Byzantium, but the title itself has a number of kingdom level titles beneath it. De jure, there's still Anatolia, Armenia, Aladin, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Canada, Cyprus, Eretnid, Gymnia, Hellas, Karaman, Crete, Mentes, Nicaea, Old Armenia, Ottoman Turk. There's a lot of titles possible in Byzantium. Not all of them can be made at once. Some of them require cultural formation, etc. Some of them don't actually have land anymore, but they are all possible. But the ones, like, there's still a decent number of titles for this region. It's one of the most it and Iberia have a lot of possible titles that can be nabbed for points in this region.
From a stability standpoint, I think it would also be it would behoove Spartini to try to nab those just for the points, but also just to have his people on the thrones, reducing claimants and keeping relations a little bit more kosher together. Oh, Mordaith has gotten free.
Hey, very good. So we'll just be looking at money now before they can become a king. However, they're profligate, so they're losing. They don't have as much income coming in. And oh no, still no luck on the heir creation game. Mordaith is having the worst RNG when it comes to babies. Losing a child there in childbirth. At least he didn't lose his wife. Has managed to get 3 children with this character, though, which is a damn sight better than his father managed to do by this period. Snap strategy, 17 and still kicking right now. Feeling fine, apparently, despite being infirm.
That's with the infirm penalty, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Tim has just fought off typhus, but is also infirm. Their health is currently considered poor, so they're not going to be very long for this world. Their succession is also pretty safe, if I remember correctly. Yes, it's just going to count Tim too. Oh, that was sneaky. The Grave One just murdered the Queen of Hungary.
Oh.
We've had our first visible player on player dynasty there. So Tim, the Grave One, trying to put a stop to the amount of Quack House heirs that there are for Hungary, and they've started a murder scheme on Iosif of Hungary as well. Oh, we're getting the player on player murders. It's begun. It really has begun. Okay. Do you think the Byzantines know? Do you think the Byzantines know that this is going on?
Let's see. Are they right now trying to disrupt schemes? Nope, they are supporting schemes. That's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
They managed to get another kingdom, though, for their family. They have a son who is a despot now. So that's 2 kingdoms within the Byzantines, taking their point total up to 5 there. SpartiniMartini is now 2 kingdoms, and the HRE making their point total 5. Yeah, but I don't think they noticed that scheme yet. They need to keep an eye on Hungary, because also Hungary is now in a rebellion. Their recently heralded goals of grabbing the throne of Hungary is gonna quickly fall apart unless they can act on this. I think that's a very good move from King Tim of Sardinia Corsica, starting to disrupt the other players, because they are points-wise second to last. So they've got to use everything they can at this point, I think, to try and slow everyone else's gain. Their family only having 2 thrones right now, 2 kingdom titles. Still not as far behind as Mordaith, the little cannibal that could.
The scheme was
Possibly that's their
exposed.
first point. Oh.
It does, however, look like they were able to assassinate Prince Heinrich of the HRE, so at least that one went through for them. We can check on the votes and see how that's going.
Yeah, no, that's going now to Prince Popo. The thing is with the HRE, the heir candidate will always gain a +2, as in if they're direct descendant of the emperor from voting anyway. So it's going to be very hard to destabilize without a really good chain of murders. And in fact, most of the other characters aren't voting for the King of Sardinia Corsica anymore. I'm guessing he's taken a negative penalty with some of them there. The votes seem to have been swiftly moved away there from the Grave One.
Yeah, he's been called out as a murderer. That definitely brings people's opinion down.
Yeah,
not as bad as if you're a cannibal.
No, but it tends to tick people off. And he just murdered a baby. There we go. Another one of the Hungarians dead. Just 2 quack houses now in the line of succession for Hungary. I really hope Spartini notices this. It's the murders are coming on thick and fast. Elsewhere in the world, Kara has managed to solidify quite a bit more of Al-Andalus again. Currently doing a struggle clash against Storia, which is a little Catholic holdout there now. House Chad looking pretty good. And what is this revolt going on in Francia?
Ooh, well, we've got the new ruler, Bertrand.
Yeah. Oh, the king finally died, and I'm guessing a faction fired right away.
Big one, too.
It's a very big one. 30,000 attackers against 8,000 defenders. This is for King Philippe. Philippe Carpe. Oh, they're trying to put a Carpe on the throne of France. This will be taking a title away from House Snap, from La Roche-Lambert. That is interesting. Do they have enough allies to pull in on this to help them fight? They won't automatically have the dynasties to pull in either.
Yeah, it looks like
that's a big alliance coming in. Ruthenia being used as everyone's whacking stick. But there's another war. It's all falling apart for Snap's strategy. They had to surrender to the Liberty War, giving a load of favors to a load of very high-ranking counts. Oh, I hate losing Liberty Wars. Okay. We are taking our midpoint pause. Wow. It all started to unravel there for Snap Strategy. What do you make of that, Ghibli?
I mean, that's one of the things when you overextend yourself, you really risk it. We've seen a few situations like that happen already so far this session. We've had Kara, and the way that she's had to break up her empire. We had the Byzantine struggle. Seems like that's going to be going on for a while. And now with this Francia, actually, this might not be a bad thing for Mordaith, for him to be able to maybe go in and secure some more lands now that, he's got the big blue blob a little weakened at the moment. And he finally got his independence.
Yes, he's got his independence now. I definitely think Mordaith needs to be looking at this and seeing the weakness in Snap's dynasty. I'm not sure that they can do anything yet. The person I think that could do something is the Grave One. I definitely think Sardinia Corsica could really make use of this, perhaps ally into one of the many revolting dukes and get in on this and actually cause some chaos. And the Grave One has been causing chaos this session. Already started on the murder chain against SpartiniMartini and stopping their control of Hungary. Weirdly, though, everyone is kind of ignoring Kara again, and I think that's a bad move.
I was going to bring up
Kara's
the
weak
Francia situation.
Yeah,
Kara right now could also stand to benefit quite a bit from this.
That's very true. Well, definitely. Whilst we're paused, Mordaith just got his first point on the board. He's now Wales. So I can announce that as we do our discussion here. Mordaith getting his first point on the board. Actually, let's do a quick rundown of the scores, shall we? So currently, as it stands, the Grave One is on 2 points. Snap Strategy is on 7 points, is our group leader right now. Kara is on 6. Mordaith is finally on the board with 1. And SpartiniMartini is in 3rd place with 5 points. So we've got 3 players that are very close together, but in very unstable positions right now. And 2 players that are in far more stable positions, but are lower on the scoreboard. You can see, though, how quickly the points can fluctuate in this game mode. And no one is ever out of the game, because you could lose all of these points just as quickly as you gained them. However, I think it's probably time for us to jump back to the main hosts.
Hello, everyone.
Oh.
Wow, it has been a busy hour. So
Hello.
we do have
Sure
a new leader on the board. Congratulations, Snap Strategy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's all falling apart now, though.
Humble as always.
And I'm very humble. Very, very, very busy. So I think one of our questions that we would like, there was a lot of war going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of murder going on. Would anyone like to own up to any murders?
No. Okay.
I've murdered.
Someone murdered me.
Hey, I did. I murdered someone. My character was a murderer. I just don't know who it was. So I don't think it was anyone particularly important. I just didn't stop my character from doing it.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you want to go by, that's on you, Kara. Grave One, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say my character's also like a murderer, but like I had no control over it either. And it was like I think he murdered 2 separate players, like family members, but like one I don't think went noticed at all. Maybe actually both haven't been noticed. I don't know, but I've been doing some murders from a lot of murders, and somehow, even though I'm diplomatic, it's been going really good.
We heard someone say something about Hungary. I must have missed it because I was, as you can see, I rushed into the studio. I even forgot to put my vest on. What happened with Hungary?
I think they were talking about Mordaith, like being hungry. So like that's what I.
Right, you're talking about.
I hear a whisper though.
Yeah, so it feels like there's someone that wants to say something about Hungary.
I had my family in line for the throne of Hungary, and while I was trying to give those kids kingdoms in my empire, every time I was about to click it, they just turned gray. I was like, why doesn't it work? But I got murdered every time I tried to click it.
Any idea?
I'm losing my meal
Any idea
family
who
members.
this is that's murdering?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the new wife of Hungary is part of Tim House, so I wonder.
It's a bold
is.
accusation from SpartiniMartini coming out.
It is.
If only there was some way to figure out if this was true or not. Of course, we're not gonna say that.
No, we're gonna let them play it out in the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have any grudges, yeah, let's have it play out. In the meantime, I feel like on a more positive note, and also this is gonna. I mean. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that Mordaith is on the board.
Yes. Congratulations, Mordaith.
Yay!
Ate our way to power.
Congrats.
After 3 hours of intense gameplay, 1 point.
And you can't take Scotland, go to Wales.
That's what they say.
That was a well thought out win right there. That 1 point, man, he really worked at it. He was able to get it.
I mean, it took a while. I'm sure it's going to accelerate. In the meantime, I do want to have a quick check-in with, let's start with Snap Strategy when talking about having it all falling apart. How's the downfall treating you?
Yeah, I was gonna try and move into Iberia, and then as soon as I got a claim, massive faction for the Kingdom of France started, and it's going terribly. So it's a good thing.
Mm. And Kara, you've kind of been through the same thing. How are you holding up?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty sad about my character, but seeing that Snap Strategy's character died at the same time too. Not that I want to see him fail or anything, of course, but it's like, oh, we're in the same situation together.
Sure.
So
sure.
I think we're both just trying to piece things back together, but we'll be back to where we were soon enough, I'm sure.
I wish that you could have heard me in the studio, Kara, when that jihad war broke out. Oh, I was like, no, but you know what? I mean, the casters said it though. I mean, you're so stubborn that we were like, no, she's not going to piece out of this. She's going to put everything into it.
I tried. I really tried. I was like, my character's so old that I got to try to speed things up as much as I can. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it was worth the try, I think.
Let's before we go back and let you guys play some more. I would like to let's do a semi-speed round of the same question to everyone, starting with SpartiniMartini. What can we expect from you in the next hour?
Oh, I've been fighting a lot of civil wars, trying to keep stability, and a few times I thought it was over, but still there.
They keep
trying
dragging
to
you back in.
They do.
Yeah, trying to get my my vassals not to like me, and then I'm going to focus on expanding outwards again.
Okay, Snap Strategy, same question. What can we expect from you in the next hour or so?
Probably me losing everything. That's what I'm seeing in the next hour. Just pain.
I like it. Looking on the bright side of life there. Grave one?
Hopefully my ruler dies so then I can mass expand.
I think this is the first time we've had a player be like, rather than being like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen when my ruler dies. I really like my ruler. And then the teams are just like, we're going to imprison them, throw them away.
Yeah, it's really funny too, because even the casters said they feel like he's kind of got a slow roll going on.
Slow roll.
So you never know what can happen. I mean, maybe he'll come out on top, right?
I'm sure that's not what the Great One's playing for. Middle of the pack, definitely.
Nah, I'm going for last.
Yeah.
For last.
Mordaith, how about you?
Probably some expansion into trying to take some of that land in Scotland and Ireland, for sure. This very compassionate ruler I have, not like his father at all, having a real problem with the way I run things, having a bit of a couple of mental breakdowns. So, but sometimes kids gotta die, right?
You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
I hear what baby chickens.
I hear that's what they say in Wales. Kara, how about you?
I guess just piecing things back together one by one. But hey, Mordaith, you gotta start with one. You got 1 point on the board. Congrats, my guy. I see you winning this game. I see it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
right.
very sweet to someone that would eat all of her children if he could.
I mean, surely not the heir.
Nom nom.
All right, guys, on that note,
Surely.
we are going to let you go back and get ready to start this game, and we're going to invite our casters in.
So it seems like somebody is on to the other about that murder. We're going to quickly go straight back into the unpause. Let's not dilly-dally or waste any time with this. Ghibli, what do you make of the discussion they just had, though?
Oh, well, I gotta say, realistically, everyone seems like we're past that friendly first expansion phase, and I think we're getting a little bit more cutthroat, especially with the fall of some of these larger empires. I think people are now deciding that they want to jump, strike while the iron's hot. So
Yeah, absolutely. I really worry for Snap strategy here. Even with bringing Ruthenia and Lothringia into this war, it's 17,000 versus 30,000 enemies here. It's going to be a game of sieges, I think, more than anything. The way they've got to win this is by sieging down Flanders' capital, which they're doing right now, as well as maybe knocking out some of the more powerful duchies. The trouble is, as well, they could have a second faction fire very soon after, just because the amount of favors, and also as they lose troops, the weakening of the empire. You might see some independences from the likes of England and other nations in a very, very, very bad position right now, I think, Bertrand of France here.
what do you think about going in and modifying vassal contracts? I know that France's money situation isn't doing great, and obviously you don't want to reduce the amount of levies, but what if you went in and you started just reducing
the problem is
tax?
the Liberty War they just lost, because currently a load of their major vassals have favors against them and hooks against them, so they're not going to be able to leverage many, if any, vassal contracts. Post the war, absolutely. I would go in and basically, instead of revoking titles, etc., from these various people, I would just release them for favors and money, and then modify their vassal contract. But they've got to get through this crisis before they can. In the meantime, let's have a look around. Kara currently doing yet another war of subjugation against one of her family members. You've had your time on the fancy seat, now give it back to me, kind of thing going on here.
Wouldn't that be nice if you could just subjugate your family members? IRL.
I mean, yes, I would. As the second son, I definitely. I feel like that. I don't think I'm the one that.
So you're the claimant. That's the issue, Midge.
Yeah,
See, I'm the firstborn.
yeah. I'm not the firstborn. However, I'm much far younger. So in CK terms, that puts me in pretty good stead still. God, look at me trash talking my brother who will never see this.
Now, I'm not sure if you saw this, but there are now 20 claimants to the Byzantine Empire.
Oh, wow.
That number is going up, not down.
The real question is how many of them are claimants via SpartiniMartini's family. Because if they're all quack houses, that's more okay than them not.
I see 3, 5, 6 quack houses, and the rest of them are.
Originally, there was
quack
2
houses
quack
and
houses,
14.
but there has still been the Rurikid dynasty. So the queen of the Rurikids died, and it's gone to all of her claimants as well. So it's a column A, column B. So yes, there's more quack houses that are securing this throne, but there's also other Byzantines as well.
The
I
Basilius
am
just
still-
going through revoking titles. Just no, none for you.
Yeah, the real kingmaker in this whole scenario right now, I think, is the Grave One. They are in the middle of everything, and they have their knives ready at everyone's throats. They're, as we've seen, they are harassing their way for the Arpid dynasty, and I love this. They've married one of their granddaughters into Hungary now, after murdering their way through. And here it goes. They've actually cleared off the quack houses from Hungary. I think this murder is about to go through. Yep, there is now no quack house in line for Hungary. Now there is only Tim.
There's something to be said about the slow but stable build. And I think that that's what the Grave One is going for here. Something, it's just that slow burn, but everything that they are solidifying seems to be pretty safe once they've got their hold on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this, but I think someone needs to start throwing some punches back at the Grave One. Otherwise, they are going to snowball without anyone realizing, just for the amount of like little claims they've been doing and machinating about. Speaking of
What
this,
do you think's going to happen with Cagliari?
they have a war for Castile going on. They've joined the rebellion against Castile because their daughter is matrilineally married to the... They've matrilineally married a daughter into Snap Strategy's family.
Oh boy.
Snap Strategy has missed a family member who... Oh, they died. Oh, they died. Who did they die to? They got murdered. What?
Oh.
Wait, because it's now going to Tim. They must... Oh, the Grave One just murdered a member of Snap Strategy's family that they were married into, who are now have an unpressed claim on the Kingdom of Castile. They needed to wait until that war actually finished, I think, before they pulled the trigger there. But they have a way to sneak a point away from a player. It's not just making a player lose a point. This is a full take of a point. This is a steal. Wow.
Tim the point taker.
Tim
very
the
busy with
point
the
taker.
very busy with the intrigues. A lot of murders. I love that. Murdering might be my favorite part of CK3.
Yeah, I'm glad that you preferenced like of CK3.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a bit more of a I don't like to murder everyone in CK3 because it's a little too powerful in a multiplayer. However, what in my community multiplayers, what I've done in the past is I normally play as Bohemia and I rename it the Court of Shadows, and I just stand there as like the best murderer, and I go, okay, and then I role play, okay, yeah, if you pay me, I will kill people for you. That's kind of how I work.
The only murder plots that you'll allow is defenestration. Otherwise, if it's like the poison or the child getting lost in the woods, you're like, no. It can only be
it's fine. If they're heretics, they get defenestrated. We know that.
Well, looks like France has made it out of their wars. They seem okay, but they still do have some discontent within the realm.
Interesting question coming in from the Grave One in all chat. I don't think that was the best place to ask a rules question in front of everyone. They've just put, just to make sure I'm not breaking any rules if I murder Spartini out of Hungary. Telegraphing your plans much? No, that's the oh no, did I accidentally hot mic kind of thing. So France did lose its war to the Carpes. However, instantly Bertrand of Francia, Snap Strategy, has imprisoned and kidnapped the King of France. So I wonder if we're going to see a title revocation here, and to see if they can give it back, because they do have a pressed claim, so they won't get tyranny for this. They may have just secured themselves that point back, because apparently they lost that point, but I'm neglecting to take it off of the board because they're about to grab it again. So it's like don't I? Okay, I'll just give myself more work. I'll write it down. Oh, Snap Strategy caught what happened in Castile and murdered the Tim family member down there. It's all kicking off. We're having murders left, right, and center down in Iberia. Oh, I'm enjoying this now. This is getting really spicy. 3 players have fully turned on each other. I mean, these were great plays from the Grave One, but I think he's made a few too many enemies right now. What do you think? Do you think they're doing the right play right now, or they need to cool it now that they've been noticed?
Well, I think they have two options: either cool it or double down with the murders. I think at this point, secure what you were going for. Otherwise, those murders were in vain, and you've just antagonized other people. But I do think that by securing Hungary was pretty sweet. Everything that's going on right now with France and Iberia, I'm not sure if maybe it's not the right time for the Grave One to hop in.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that would have been great if it had gone unnoticed, or they'd pulled the trigger once the war in Castile had happened. That way, there would have been less that France could have done to stop it. However, they have just murdered that child and gotten away with it. I feel like it wouldn't have been telegraphed as much if they'd just, fought in that war and gotten that claim, onto the throne, rather than telegraphing, hey, one of my family now has that title.
There's an interesting vassalization war that actually the Grave One is fighting right now, all the way up north.
Vassalization of... Oh, they've snuck into Pomerania.
Mm-hmm. And that's right by the French Denmark. French mark, I'll call
interesting.
it.
French mark. Nordmark. Wait, no, other way around. Grand Nord?
No.
French
mark. I'm going with French mark.
French mark. Okay. French mark. Yeah, this is a good grab. Pomerania as a kingdom, what do you need for it? Oh, it's quite a big kingdom title. You need 11 de jure counties to form up Pomerania. Okay, so it'll be points eventually. I'll do a click through of dynasty members just to... Wait. The King of Sicily. Oh no. So the Grave One's heir just lost a war against Byzantium. So SpartiniMartini coming back with a vengeance here. But something I also want to point out, King Tim of Sicily, also Serafino, of Sicily, of House Tim, has an unpressed claim on Denmark. I need like Always Sunny in Philadelphia level wall charts here to like draw lines as to the various claim links here. Oh, there we go. There is the Byzantines taking a part of that kingdom. That's a very good grab from White House. Using that weight of Byzantium that you mentioned earlier, the punching power, just to go, oh, you're going to murder your way into you're going to murder my family away? Fine, I'll physically take your land. That puts the Kingdom of Sicily in a very, it's like taking candy from a baby. That puts the Kingdom of Sicily in a very precarious position. One more war, and I believe they can have that title usurped. Sigma forming up still. It's not even Kara's final form, but we are seeing those kingdoms like slowly fall back into the family. The family all still holding those titles as well. They haven't fallen to any AI. However, Bayer, the Duchy of Bayer has actually left the kingdom, I believe, and that independent? No, they're under. Zenzir. They're just on the opposite side in a war. Okay, they're still under Zenzir. I got very confused there because I was zoomed in enough that they looked independent. I was like, oh, there's an extra thing there to clean up. But no, it's fine.
Now, something that gets me a little nervous is, again, looking at Kara's lineage and stuff. Her ruler is already 55. So all of this might be all of her.
Well, she only has one
progress
son currently,
reconsolidating.
I think.
Uh,
She has one
no. If you
son that
click,
is.
you see where it says the
oh, wait.
plus. Oh, you're on it. You have all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying I'm on the succession. Oh, that's just. It only shows the one kingdom. Ah.
Yeah.
Because she's a king level title, it will only show the one kingdom.
Yep.
She needs an emperor level title, even if it's not the Hispanian title. I think she needs to. I think that's the goal there. I think she needs to move into like Maghreb or something and grab the emperor level title there. Maybe Mali. It's slightly smaller. Just start trying to get themselves on an extra emperor title, just so that when these things fall apart, they're not independent.
Yep. And it looks like now that Mordaith is the King of Wales, he seems to be expanding further.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll see a little bit of... Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Nosh McPrime Rib.
Nosh McPrime Rib.
This is a sad day.
She was just
what
a
is it
little
when Mordaith
appetizer.
just... Yeah. But mere tapas has fallen this day. Oh, we got... I love Mordaith's naming scheme for this run. It's interesting. My favorite son, I think, is Grubbug.
Yeah.
Grubbug McPrime Rib.
I've been a fan of everyone's
Fantastic.
naming schemes. I think all of the players really stayed true to their roots with their familial lines.
Yeah. I love that also it seems that Snap Strategy is the only one going like historical. Everyone else is just going, what's my theme today? It really shows the lifestyle of like a Crusader Kings player. It's like that whole it's the meme format of like my first run of CK3 and my like 33rd run of CK3. And first one is Harry Potter. The 33rd one is like the Guns Akimbo. Daniel Radcliffe. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's two photos of Daniel Radcliffe. One where he's like your little 13-year-old Harry Potter, and the next one where he's a guy in slippers and and a dressing gown with guns nailed to his hands. Yeah. Just also, Guns Akimbo, fantastic film if you haven't seen it. Bit gory if that kind of thing turns you off of a film, then probably not for you. However, I will say artistically it is a pretty nice film. Hashtag not sponsored by Guns Akimbo. I'm just a film
So right
nerd.
now
Okay, so
we're having some Liberty Wars going on. So we're seeing some of the big expansions causing some issues. But I still can't believe that King Tim is still alive. This guy is 75 and kicking it.
oh yeah, I'm really interested to see Sardinia Corsica here because they have enough land to make the Empire of Italy. Pretty much, not quite, just because of that Anconan territory, because obviously southern Italy doesn't count as Empire of Italy. That's actually Empire of Byzantium. This early on, but they are very close to having the Empire of Italy nonetheless. I wonder if they'll break free of the Holy Roman Empire. They are 12 provinces away. They'd need to subjugate Ancona. That's it. So if they could get themselves a claim on Ancona. Everyone seems to be relatively peaceful right now. I wonder if we've got any schemes going on. There's a befriend scheme coming out from France. Oh no, that's Mordaith. No, that's a seduce scheme. Mordaith is seducing the Queen of England. Ooh. England's fallen out of Snap's dynasty.
Oh. This is a really good chance for Mordaith to nab it while Snap's having...
So Snap's actually down to 5 points because they still haven't taken France back within Francia. They're in prison, but right now, Snap's strategy has fallen to joint second with Spartini. I quickly need to change a control setting, so apologies for this, everyone watching. I'm going to have to quickly go into the game settings. I need to do the... Where is it in this game? It is... Oh, turn off that one, for one thing. Tooltip mode, mouse. Okay. I believe if I click middle buttons, they'll hold on there now. There we go, so we don't have to wait for that little timer. Yes. Back house is still only 2 kings. No, Quack House is 3. Oh. Oh. Spartini. Got up to 6 points now, so drawing first with Kara. Snap has fallen to 3rd place. This is what we were talking about earlier, where we were saying the points can ebb and flow so quickly.
Yep. Lost Denmark as well.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I think the Byzantines are in the lead. That's 7 points. That's 7 points. SpartiniMartini has taken the lead for the first time this game. Congratulations, Spartini. Now, can you hold on to it? That's the real question here. England's revolting. England's revolting from Francia.
I wonder if that's going to push.
They've got an independence war going on. And Mordaith is assisting.
Oh!
Mordaith is getting involved. He's protecting his lover. Yeah, he's in there. Oh, that seduction coming in.
Just gotta sleep your way through the UK. He couldn't eat him, so he tried other means.
I had an awful joke there that I will save to tell you after the we are not on not on voice.
Yeah, TOS.
It's TOS. So I was just you know what? I'll share that later with anyone who asks me directly. But I think that's too hot for Twitch. Was what I was going with there. However, Francia does have enough troops, I think, to beat this. In fact, they've pieced this out. What? They pieced out England, but not Holstein.
Short-lived.
Oh, England died.
Oh,
she was murdered.
Oof.
Did Snap just murder her? Hang on, let's check the kill list of Snap Strategy's character. Yep. Queen Matilda of England was just tactically murdered by Emperor Bertrand, taking them out of the war, which means, Wales, you're in this for no reason now.
Ooh.
Kara is going absolutely unmolested down here in Iberia and just slowly solidifying again. Yes, they're probably going to have to do it all again when they die. However, they've had time. They've had the time. I wonder if Kara's actually been spreading her dynasty elsewhere. I'm going to quickly go to her living family members Let's see if we've got any dukes in interesting locations. Oh, that's a mercenary company of her family's dynasty. Emirate of Algarve, but no, that's still in Hispania. It looks to be all the titles are in Hispania. So, the one thing that she could be doing right now is marrying into most of the the Islamic world. She's the only player that can send marriage requests to potentially half the map. And I would be using that as my advantage right now. I'd be trying to get
She has a lot
marriages
of
into
unmarried
Seljuks.
children. I wonder if
Yeah,
that's what
this
she
is
was
what I'm
sort of
saying.
saving for a wave of marriage requests.
Perhaps. Yeah, I'd be really interested to see her like start putting those marital feelers out into other parts of the Islamic world. What do you think would be the best get for her if she could like marry into? Where would you go for?
Ooh, okay, so I think realistically, if she wants to protect herself from France, I think just going directly south into Almoravid. But I could also see her maybe if she wants to go a little bit closer to Italy, that would kind of give her a foothold to break into Italy or the Byzantines and just sort of stop their expansion, because it looks like they are probably going to start encroaching on her pretty soon. From an empire standpoint, I do like Mali. It's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arabian Empire is a little bit too big. I think Maghreb's a little bit too big for right now. It's almost like too much for the one ruler's lifetime. Although with her capabilities of war, I mean, we keep seeing her just steamroll through Iberia, collect everything. If she can get a young enough ruler on the throne and by a decent age, I think it wouldn't be unattainable for her. She's definitely shown herself combat wise. If she can get the claims and everything, I think she would be able to manage that.
Absolutely combat wise. Unfortunately, her ruler is currently infirm, so I think Omega is going to be dying pretty soon. I would say
her heir is
the Maghreb.
12.
Yes, the Maghreb
So
dynasty.
she's bypassing the older ones.
The Almoravid Sultanate is actually a little bit weak. If she could maneuver diplomatically a claim onto this and take this one kingdom, it's only one kingdom title right now for all of that land, and that's almost an empire title. She could very quickly grab the rest of the Maghreb, I think, and form that empire title up. In fact, I feel. Oh, she's depressed as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Omega Ibn Sigma is not long for this. Omega Ibn Sigma Chad is not very long for this world, and we're about to see another fracture of Iberia. Oh, that could be very, very rough. But like I said, trying to grab this Maghrebi title and forming up that empire could save a lot of heartache. Plus, you'd have a massive map font, and we all know that's how you really win this game.
Yeah.
Can we see the bloodline bonuses? Good point. We haven't checked those in a while. Thank you, chat. Let's have a look at the dynastic bonuses. So, House Chad has taken 1 point in glory, which was a really good one, if I remember. Yeah, it's marriage acceptance. And then 2 in kin. Fertility, attraction opinion, and child opinion, and dynasty members get better education traits. Now, currently, Kara is the only dynasty that could grab Metropolitan as a dynasty line, which I do really like. But I do feel like the right choice here was kin, especially as the name of the game is dynasty and spreading it as far and wide as possible. Let's have a look at Dorla Rochland, but they've gone for 2 points in glory, so grabbing that bonus to renowned name, which is prestige, number of knights, mercenary higher costs, and court grandeur. Let's look at the Mordaith family. They is going for kin, so those 2 points in fertility and child opinion mainly. Quack House is going full intrigue, not getting the familial bonuses from their renown, but instead grabbing the murdering bonuses. So that's guile, so ominous reputation, which is dread and natural dread, and hostile scheme success chance plus 10%, and cheaper agent bribes. It's a very potent line. And then House Tim, 2 points in glory as well. Okay, so most players going into this familial meta towards either their prestige or their family gain. Only SpartiniMartini using it to essentially affect their direct outward gameplay. We have had Tim 2 take over in Italy as well. Finally, Tim of House Tim has died at 76, and his realm has split.
Byzantium is going in on Sicily right now.
Wait.
That might be a big loss for... that actually
House
isn't
Tim
in
has
Tim's
split
line.
massively. There's Sardinia, Corsica, and Italy split out. It divided. So yes, there's an extra point there for the Grave One, so up to 3 points. But direct control is over a very small territory now, comparatively. The title of Italy was created from underneath them in that succession.
What's nice about that kingdom, though, is that it does give them a lot of de jure land if they wanted to get the control of it themselves.
Is Kara hoarding faith for something? Possibly another jihad? That is a lot of piety. There's a lot of piety. I wonder how much piety she'd need to flip Catholic. $500. That could be good. Or if she go, remember we identified to stop her getting attacked by all Crusades and Holy Wars. We were thinking, she could go Catholic or Mozarabic, which does also exist, and she could convert to right now if she wanted to, I believe. Oh, she can't. Wait, she her head of faith? She is her head of faith, so she can't convert. Ooh, that's a bit rough. Okay, so she's just holding on. She's going to use that piety to call a jihad, if possible. What have we got going on elsewhere?
Oh, Biz has taken southern Italy.
Yeah, I just noticed that war coming in, taking those points away by force from House Tim. Hopefully this will be enough to usurp the title and actually strip the Grave One of a point. The Grave One hasn't quite secured a House Tim member onto the throne. Oh no, the House Tim marriage onto Hungary is not matrilineal.
Oh.
I think that's a big misplay.
That was just for the alliance.
Yeah, it was just to block House Quack House. Ooh.
Now, a good play here would be to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that the two kings of Italy, Sardinia, Corsica, and Italy, are called Tim 1 and Tim 2. And now they're at war with one another.
Oh.
Not for the kingdom, it's for the de jure Tuscan territory. Trying to retake that ducal level title. Tim 2 calling in the family and calling in Bohemia to do with this. There's a lot of new solidification that the Grave One needs to do before they're back into that strength position. I don't know if that's going to distract them that much. I think that's going to distract them for a little while. You were going to say, though.
I don't rightly remember, but France has lost a little bit of land in Denmark.
Oh, really? They have. Jutland is free. and Holstein. So did they lose that succession war? Oh, okay, no. I was clicked on Cara. I thought France was stealing a part of Spain then. I was... Oh. Yeah, France has still not taken France back. They've just got them in prison.
The Tim Brooch. I've got to go look.
They
at the
have,
ones.
however, usurped England. They've usurped England, therefore England is back as a point for them, and they've got. Is that no? There's Aquitaine. I thought that was Norway for a moment. I was like, hang about a bit. No, so Snap Strategy back up to 4 kingdom titles, taking them to 6 points in total, putting them drawing with Cara. SpartiniMartini still in the lead though now. With now 8 points, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. 5 kingdom titles for House Spartini. For House Quack House, should I say. And obviously the Byzantine Empire. They're in a very strong position now. They are in a very strong position now that they managed to stabilize the Byzantines and hold on to those. I mean, they haven't had a revolt in a long time, at least a claimant one. So I think this is. Oh! Francia has died. Bertrand II. They've managed to hold on to everything, but I think that meant they lost their claim on France. No, they've still got an unpressed claim on France. Which I don't think is enough for them to be able to revoke France anymore. So that's a slight mistake. Did they get murdered? They got murdered.
Ooh.
They got murdered. How was the Battle of the Thames? Yeah, see, you have a look around and see if you can find if it was a player that murdered them or an AI that murdered them. Whilst I take a quick look at the Battle of the Thames, because Tim 2, our actual Tim, the Timoning, has lost their capital right now to the AI. They are going to re-siege it, and these sides aren't that even. But it's still an interesting predicament that they've got themselves into here.
The murderer was Mordaith.
Oh, Mordaith, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, knives out, Mordaith. I love that. I absolutely love that. Also, the murder of one of the queens of England there. I'm guessing that was vengeance for his lover's death there. Look at that. Beautiful work there. Dagger in the dark for Mordaith. The little one-pointer that could. I really like that. That's a fantastic move, I think, in this scenario. Just when France least expect it, and England's gone from under France again. He lost the revolt, and there's a point lost.
He's did it again.
What?
Oh no!
What? He just murdered him again?
Oh no! He. I was watching a scheme happen, and then he died. So I don't know if someone has killed him, and now I gotta go look.
No, so the King of Wales, McPrime Rib, just flagellated himself to death, and now he's jerking McPrime Rib. A humble steward named Jerky. Okay. Oh, that was exciting for a moment there. I was right with you. I thought there was going to be a lot of murder off. Yeah. Double murder off. That would have been very, very intriguing. Al-Andalus looking very solid again now. Francia really struggling to hold on to their gains. They have retaken France now. So they're back up, and I'm constantly shifting Snap Strategy's points up and down. Maybe I can set up some macros with my stream deck so I don't have to keep tabbing out. I wonder if I'm smart enough to do that. But either way, let's give a quick rundown of the scores. The Grave one on 3 points with 3 kingdoms. Snap Strategy on 6 points with 4 kingdoms, 1 empire. Kara on 6 points with 6 kingdoms. Mordaith on 1 point with 1 kingdom. And SpartiniMartini on 8 points with 5 kingdoms and Byzantium. One of the elusive 3-point holdings.
So do we think we're going to see any interesting culture hybridization going on between some of the spreading nations that we're looking at here?
I'd like to. I think France has the best. Actually, has one of the best chances of hybridizing with the culture, especially now that they've got land in. Actually, let's have a look at that. There has been a hybrid culture in Denmark, Dano-Occitanian, which is a mixture of Norse and French.
France just got declared a dissolution war on, and I'm looking at the numbers here are not in their favor.
Oh no! This is the same Duke that raised the Liberty War, I think, beforehand. The one that that France had to peace out with to deal with the Succession War. So this could be very, very rough as 22,000 attackers coming against 20,000 defenders. Even Stevens on the sides right now, but your guess is as good as ours if they can hold on to this. Oh, there's a Liberty War coming up from beneath them as well, I think. Or did they just give up on that? They just gave up on that. Yeah, oh, no, they didn't. Oh, no, they didn't. It was a slight delay. Oh, no, that's another 18,000 against them, and that's probably going to take them in from them. Yeah. So there's 18,000 French defenders in the first war against 22,000 attackers, and now it's 18,000 on 18,000 in that separate Liberty War. No, it's 10,000, 14,000. All these numbers are fluctuating as people pick sides.
Everyone's joining.
Everyone is joining, and this is looking rough for Snap Strategy. This is looking very rough. This is the problem. This is why you never submit to Liberty Wars. The first one, because they essentially is what happens with Liberty Wars when you give people favors. The AI tends to use this to put themselves in the council, and you can't remove them from your council unless someone else uses a favor hook to get them out of the council and put themselves in. So essentially is what you have is vassals spending their favors and then just annoying each other by getting them out of the council, but the negative effect goes on you because it still counts as you kicking them, which then puts them in another anger faction and forces them to do another Liberty War. And he's just died. He's been murdered under mysterious circumstances. Oh dear gosh, that is a brutal loss there for Snap Strategy, because I think it might have invalidated some of the wars. So on that front, kind of okay. But they're now playing, how old is she? I'm not even sure. Hold on. A 3-year-old girl. No, she's still in the wars. She still has these wars to fight. They're not as big, but they are still there. Was that Mordaith?
Let's look.
Was that Mordaith? Yes, it was. Mordaith. Mordaith.
No.
Oh,
it was.
Yeah, Mordaith. Once your appetite has moved from the flesh and turned to the knife, it seems like you're doing a good job there. That is brutal. But the thing is Mordaith in a strong enough position that if Francia wants revenge later on, once all this is past them, are they going to be able to manage holding them back? I'm not sure that they will.
If Mordaith could secure an alliance here, now would be the time to go in. And I wonder if Kara also sees this, because this would be a great time for her to get that Galician province back.
Yes, absolutely. Snap Strategy here actually. Yeah, still retaining their points even though they've had these deaths. Kara, do you know what? if she's got claims on France, this is where she should use them.
Byzantium is going to probably take the rest of Sicily in this war that they are fighting right now, which is going to take a point off of the board for
the grave one.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good. Let's just check their living members because they've been dealing out kingdom titles. In fact, this king here has 2 titles. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 3, 9. 9 points for Spartini. Really, really storming ahead this session. They were in second to last at the beginning of the session, I believe. So for them to be now the point leader by a strong 3 points, that means even if they lose the Byzantine title to, say, a vassal or someone not of their dynasty, they would still have enough points to equal Snap Strategy and Kara. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, this family Quack House, they have really solidified their position here. Even looking at just unrest and factions, it looks like Spartini went through and took this session to really just make sure that the Byzantine Empire belongs to House Quack House and no one else can come in and say otherwise.
Yeah, I really like this. Put it just, instead of expanding out, just building all the de jure kings and putting family members in charge, just securing those points underneath you. It's a really, really good tactic, and this is I'm loving this play. SpartiniMartini has really, really gone away and thought about what they needed to do here. 100%. I wonder if they've been doing any test games or anything in the off week, because it's looking far better than how it started for them. They were so slow beforehand, and they were also really, really not taking the best fights when trying to secure their initial kingdom. But now they've got Byzantium, they've been steamrolling.
If you were the Grave One, how would you feel about this rather large neighbor on your doorstep right now? What do you think your steps would be?
The thing is, the Grave One, I think they don't have a claim on their other family's titles. As Househead, you can claim a title with renown, but they haven't got any renown. I would have been claiming family titles as Househead. I think it's really worrying, and the slow play of the Grave One, and also their murder schemes being great earlier, but not quite paying off, has put them in a little bit of a detrimental location. Like, Hungary was a good block, and it stopped Spartini grabbing that point, but the misplay on it being a standard marriage rather than a matrilineal marriage has kind of put them in a bad position, because that's a family member locked off that they can't get points from. They've got no claims on the Kingdom of Italy, nor the Kingdom of Sicily to re-secure those points. I think their only move here is to try and get Ancona and try and get Italy from their family member, break away from the Holy Roman Empire when there's time, and try to form the Empire of Italia, and go from there, just so they've at least got the manpower pool from vassals and the securement of those titles, so that the Byzantines can't just steamroll over them.
I would agree with that. It looks like Francia has just stripped a bunch of the vassals rising up against them out of the wars. I'm trying to see if they've lost anything. Doesn't appear so. I mean, England, obviously, but they still have footholds, which will allow them to hopefully spread a little bit more. I'd like to see Mordaith really capitalize on the Francia leaving England situation.
Yeah, Mordaith actually getting a nice amount of manpower now. One thing that I want to quickly check with Mordaith. Have they managed to... No, they haven't. Okay, now that they're King of Wales, they need to form a hybrid culture with Welsh, because the Longbowman men-at-arm is very, very potent, and with Longbowmen, they could really punch above their weight class if they could get them. They seem to be going for Ireland right now, but Ireland's managed to pull in quite a few troops. They're outnumbered 2-1 right now.
Yeah, those allies are a little sketchy. He has 2 sons and could be using them for alliance marriages. They're not daughters, but oh, it just happened. Okay. Yeah.
Alliance marriages, I think, going to come in here, which should save them. They will... Oh, this is a defendant war. They're not attacking Ireland. They're defending here. This is really rough for Mordaith. The RNG really not coming in their favor.
Well, now that England has joined, it's looking much more equal. Gosh, I'd hate to see the King of Wales lose Wales.
Yeah, that would be really, really rough. England is losing a battle there, though. Have you noticed the King of England is betrothed, of course, but it's to a child of Mordaith's dynasty. Now, the thing is here, it's not a matrilineal betrothal, which is slightly sad. If there was the matrilineal betrothal there, that would be like an awesome turnaround for Mordaith. I think this is, like you said, a necessity claim.
Again, though, 2 sons, I'm sure Mordaith could probably find someone with some punching power if he could make some marriages. I don't think taking the rest of the Isles could be that difficult with a little bit of Diplo.
Mm-hmm. Faithful, prepare for war. Where is this crusade going? Oh, it's a crusade against Kara.
Oh no!
Now the thing is, she should have other Sunni nations come in as defenders, but this could be really, really, really rough for her.
She finally just regained all of her holdings in Iberia too.
Yeah, it's for Al-Andalus right now.
That's going to be a big war. And of course, it's going to happen when everyone else is at peace, not struggling to keep the stability in their nation so they can actually afford to go over there. What? Kara has now flipped to the HRE.
Kara's subjugated herself to the HRE?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no, but the HRE is revoking titles.
Oh no.
I mean, this is a very good play to avoid the crusade, but the HRE just tried to revoke titles. Now she's in a rebellion play against the HRE. I mean, these are far better odds against her than what she was just going through. And their crusade. But France is joined because they're an ally.
No.
Oh no, snap strategy coming in. Oh, this is going to... Okay, we're about to see the showdown of a century here, and it's been instigated by the AI. Kara, carefully trying to get out of that, is now 28,000 to 23,000.
Still better than the... It was a very smart move getting herself out of the crusade, but...
Yeah.
Whew.
I think this is still a better fight than fighting all of the Crusade. It's rough though. Yeah. It's very rough.
Yeah.
It's now a 10,000 deficit. The AI Holy Roman Emperor has managed to call in some allies.
We did see during the jihad, though, it was like 5 times the amount of men, or like 3 times the amount of men against her. So,
yeah, and like we've said before, Kara is very much no pushover. I will say, though, now this really fluctuates the Iberian struggle and means that she can't form the empire at all until she gets her independence again. So if she now has to time her independence with the struggle ticks, she's going to be the defender here, though. Wait.
Oh,
she died. So the war invalidated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good for her. That's so good for her. Kara, you lucky devil, you. Man, we are seeing some really, really interesting ways to play CK3. Like avoiding being subjugated by a Catholic emperor to avoid the Holy War, to then end up at war with that emperor, to then die, to not have to be fighting that emperor. Her son's Catholic.
And she flipped Catholic. So that's good for her to avoid the Crusades.
Which means as soon as she's independent, she can end the struggle.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty sure. She's also now Chancellor of the Holy Roman Empire. Wow. What a turn of events. Obviously, forgoing her ability to marry into a lot of the Islamic families, but that's fine. She can now crusade into those. Also, has her entire family gone Catholic, or is it just the current line? Because if the other line is still Sunni, there is still a lot of plays to be had, which really opens up a realm of possibilities in terms of these marriages.
Yeah, not all of them have flipped. Some. It's like half and half in the siblings. That is interesting. Kara now, with the ability to marry into Europe, also becomes very dangerous for a lot of reasons. But I'm particularly concerned about Italy and what's going on between the Grave One, Spartini, and now if Kara can get involved, we might see some Mediterranean machinations.
Yes, absolutely. Kara is also, because of her culture type and because her family has Sunni members, she can still also marry into into Sunni territory herself as a Catholic. So the options are so limitless. We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock as well. Right now, we're down to the wire with this session, and a lot has happened. We've seen so much fluctuation here in the last portion of this session today. It's been really wild. I mean, the leadership position in this game has flipped 3 times in terms of points. There's a lot of points still up for grabs in the map. We've seen a lot of player conflict. I can't believe this is only the second session of play. You know, with the amount of action we're seeing right now, there is also now a crusade for Jerusalem, which I believe Kara could get involved with if she wanted to. Currently, we have 2 players involved with it. Let's just double check the attackers. It's a little bit glitched on the loading for me. So currently, Tim 2 is in there and is in 4th in the war score. We got any other players? Whoa, we've got... Okay, Mordaith's in here as well, and so is Francia. Everyone's making a go for Jerusalem. Kara, are you going to get involved? Are you going to raise your banners in this crusade? Are we going to see everyone scrambling for war score against the Fatimid Empire? Oh, the crusade's over, I think. No, that's not the crusade. That was a jihad. Oh, I was like, oh my God, it happened already. No, the Fatimids are definitely going to lose this crusade. It's just going to be down to which player gets the most war score. And unfortunately, I can't see the participation easily. It's kind of glitching out a little bit right now in the observer mode. I do apologize there, guys. So we're going to have to try and guess in terms of what happens in these combats. I'm going to switch to the Pope. I think is probably going to be the best person to view this war from. Okay, so England has landed. The Pope has landed. We haven't seen any Welsh or French. The Italians are about to get there, though, with 5,000. Do remember, though, losing troops is as much of a war score gainer as sieging and fighting. Your death can sometimes be what wins you a crusade, as long as your allies are strong enough. And we're going to see the first battle of this crusade. Currently, there are more Sunni troops, but they are going to lose to the Crusaders. There's enough reinforcements here that the AI is going to lose. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm speaking so fast. I want to see what the participation looks like in this crusade as soon as it happens. Okay, but with that, unfortunately, we are out of time. We ran to the timer, so we're going to leave it on the cliffhanger of who's going to grab Jerusalem. I'm kind of game with that. That's really, really interesting that now everyone is playing for those same titles when those crusades come up. It makes it for a really interesting pot. But yeah. Whew. Ghibli, any final thoughts with today's session before we throw it back to our lovely hosts?
There have been some absolutely crazy things, such as Cara being subjugated into the HRE, flipping Catholic, France losing a lot of the titles that they've gained, Spartini, who really, I think, did a great job with Byzantium. And then I'm really excited to see what happens with Wales and Mordaith. It looks like he's finally on his path for expansion. So this has been a riveting session as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Mordaith being a dagger in the dark this session. We saw the Grave One do some really nice murder maneuvers early that didn't quite pay off, but I think there was some clutch assassinations there from Mordaith, really sticking the dagger in Francia and then twisting it with the second kill. Cara, we can't forget her fantastic use of game mechanics to get away from what could have spelt the end for her rulership of Iberia, managing to hold on using that insane maneuver of subjugation, subjecting themselves to the Holy Roman Empire and then kowtowing and then turning Catholic while they're opening up a whole new set of possibilities. But let's throw it back to our hosts, shall we?
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Was that an interesting 2 hours?
Yeah, it was. I don't think I've seen a game of CK played like this. Not in a long, long time. This has been so back and forth, and the points. I said it. It's like the points have fluctuated so much, and Ghibli also pointed out it's about holding this title. The fact that we've seen 3 different point leaders in 1 2-hour session is wild. It's
I would
wild.
not have.
The scores are so close.
I would not have guessed that SpartiniMartini was going to go up by that many points in the 2 hours. That was incredible. He started out, second to last, and then jumps up to 9 points in the matter of 2 hours. That was incredible.
Yeah, from 1 point at the beginning of the session to 9 points at the end of the session.
Ghibli, important question from us on the sidelines here. Why are all the cool plays happening at the end?
I think maybe the pressure is on. I think that it takes a while to get the setup going, and then plans, in CK3, they don't happen very quickly. So you kind of have to get the setup going, and then by the time you finally get it, bam, all of a sudden everything's happening, session's ending, and now it's just another week of now, okay, where am I at in this game? What plans do I need to make, and how do I get to where I want to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm pretty happy with the game when, regardless of if we're pulsing for mid-session council or we run out of time, there's always an exciting play that's happening. But that's, of course, also partly because I asked Midgeman to make this game. So
I was going to say, I feel like Midgeman kind of just, he's got to manipulate it or something so that we can leave it at the end of a cliffhanger after every little duel or every competition that we do every week.
Okay.
I mean, Look, I'll take the credit. I don't mean to, but I'll take the credit.
So we're going into week 3 next week. Let's before we talk to the players, let's have a quick feel from the caster side here, guys. Who do you think is going to go up the most in points next game? Let's start with Ghibli.
Okay, so up in points next game, I think what Kara did was really strong. I think she's very close to, if she can gain her freedom and form the Empire of Hispania, I mean, that right there is a huge amount of points. And then it also gives her, with the Catholic flip, a lot of opportunities to instill herself on other thrones throughout Europe. And because she can also go still into Muslim countries, she can spread everywhere. I'm excited to see her growth. But we are coming into a lot of intrigue happening, so we might see maybe some of her family members die. I don't know.
Midgeman, your take on it?
Yeah, I'm very hopeful in terms of point gain. Not saying point total. I don't think it'll be the point leader, but the biggest fluctuation. I think we're going to see Mordaith pull it out of the bag with a big grab of points. There were some very good assassinations there. They're on the cusp of possibly some more kingdom titles. All they have to do is go unnoticed and cause havoc where they can in Europe whilst the bigger players fight it out, and I reckon they'll all kind of stagnate at one set of points, and he'll actually get the biggest point gain. But I do really like Kara's position. I do need to herald what Ghibli is saying, because Kara's position, there's a possibility that with one well-placed war in a moment that she's about to get another 5 points and put herself way above the rest. So it's still very much all to play for, though, because anyone could lose any amount of points by next session as well. We could see everyone essentially get returned to a duke if rebels or whatever doesn't go their way. So yeah, it could be wild. We're in for a wild ride.
Exciting.
All right. So on that note, thank you so much to our casters, and we will see you all next Tuesday.
Thank
you. Bye, guys. Wow.
Yeah, another exciting week. Of course, we're not quite done yet, because we have the most important task left.
To talk to our
players.
Yes, talk to our players. And let's bring in our points leader right now, SpartiniMartini. Hello.
Hello.
Big points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that
revenge.
was to go from what second to last up to 9 points. I mean, you just really flew right up there.
Yeah, I think when I started, I had 1 kingdom. Mm-hmm. Now I got 7 in the Empire, so went up fairly fast.
And now, is this where you were expecting to end up this week? Assuming you know, going into this, you kind of knew that I'm gonna go for Byzantium. It's going well. These are the amount of points I can get.
I was hoping to get Byzantium stable by the end of this week, as well as a few kingdom titles here and there. But I did not plan to go after Sicily yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So you really, when we took the break and we were talking to you guys, you kind of, sort of, I think, knew what was going on over in Hungary. So at that point, was it kind of like, okay, so now you're starting to come after me, so now I'm going to come after you? Was that, did your plans change a little bit after he went after you in Hungary?
Oh yeah, for sure. I lost 2 of my male family members as well, so I couldn't give more kingdom titles away. And I kind of worked fairly hard on trying to get Hungary in my realm, but well, that got foiled.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought for revenge, I could just get his queen out of Hungary, but I saw it wasn't matrilineal married, so I wouldn't care for points anyways. And then I saw that Sicily was kind of open.
Right, just the I guess, get back a little bit at killing some of your family in Hungary. So it was kind of worked against them just a little bit, I think.
I feel like it was a nice move, and I think your fans in Twitch chat really appreciated it, you striking back, regardless if that was the intent or not.
I hope so. An eye for an eye.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I feel. Is I understand what he was doing, but I think SpartiniMartini figured it out, very quickly and was able to kind of go, okay, well, if you're going to pick on me, I'm going to come over and visit you for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So quickly before we let you go, what's going to happen next week?
Next week, my ruler is going to die and
classic.
I lost in this run, I think 3 heirs. So I gotta try and make the vessels like my newest heir, who just got born. So I gotta figure that out. I think we're gonna get more civil wars, like at the start when I got the empire. It was very unstable. Where I had many wars from the outside, from the inside, and somehow managed to pull that together. And I think that's gonna happen again next time.
Okay, well, I can't wait to see what happens with you next week, and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
All right, and the next person that we have coming in is Kara. Hello, Kara.
Hi. Hello.
So that was an interesting end
night.
to the week.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like, all I can say is that I do what I have to do to survive out here. And if it looks a little crazy, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, switching over to Catholic, how is that going to go for you?
Yeah.
What?
It's a good question. I think, like, on one hand, it, like, might limit my opportunities northward a bit, because I can't, like, fall back on any, just, like, random county claims or whatever. I have to work for them a bit more. But other than that, I mean, I'm safe in the HRE at the very least. If nothing else, I'm safe.
Right. So do you want to reveal a little bit what you're planning on doing for next week, maybe?
It's a good question. I have a couple of paths that I can take. I can either try to get independent from the HRE or I can try to become the HRE. I honestly don't know which one will be better at this point, but
Yeah.
those are the two things I'm weighing in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering is where you would exactly go. I mean, break free or actually take over. I mean, you could go south into Africa as well, right?
It's true. I mean,
The
there's
world
plenty of
is yours.
territory left
The
in
world, yeah, exactly.
Now, the casters,
Mine and mine alone.
the casters really like your position going into week 3. Are you happy where you are considering the circumstances?
Could be doing better. I think the fact that I'm getting shown up by another Chad who took the Byzantine Empire is grating me a bit, but I will be back to form soon
Okay.
enough.
Well, that's
So-
good to know.
Other than that, yeah, I was hoping to form Hispania. Ruler died a bit too quickly, but I do what I do. I do what I have to do.
You still have you're still in tied for second, so you're doing something right.
And that's before getting the Hispania points.
That's true. Yes. That'll really, if you can get Hispania, that'll really put you in the head.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kara, and have a great night. We're going to switch over to Snap Strategy.
Middle of the pack! How are you feeling? Well,
Maybe he's not feeling anything right now. I mean,
exactly, because we cannot hear a Snap Strategy. So if Snap Strategy is talking
Hello?
to us...
oh,
Hello!
there he is.
Sorry,
Hello.
that fixed it. Sorry, my bad. I was speaking, but yeah, sorry.
How are you feeling after that 2 hours?
Not great. I think we lost a lot of land. Got murdered a good few times. But I have my suspicions of who it was.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, did you expect to get murdered this much?
Not that much. It happened quite a lot, but I think next game, as long as I can hopefully get England and France back, I should be okay if I can hold them for a little while, but...
And do you think you'll answer back? Seeing as you were murdered so often, do you have plans?
Yeah, well, I see Wales, and of course I do want to get my my home country back. Obviously, that's where I'm from, so I want to try and get Wales, if possible.
I hear the person on that throne eats people.
Maybe invite him over to dinner.
Or-
You know, that might be a bit risky. You might
Be a bit. You might become the dinner, is what you're saying.
yeah.
So what can we expect from you next week?
I think I'm definitely going to have to stabilize my realm. I want to get England and France back, and then hopefully move into Wales. But we'll see how it goes. I might get murdered about 6 times, so...
Because you did, there was a Denmark play earlier today, and you did talk about the start of the session. You did talk about going north. Is that something you're still considering?
Yeah, I think I expanded too fast, so everything started falling apart. But I've got Denmark, I think, as my family right now. So if I can get all my titles back, maybe I'll try go back up there. But everything just keeps revolting.
Okay. Well, it should be exciting for you next week, and we'll say goodnight.
Thank you.
And next we have the Grave One to talk to.
There he is. I'm not gonna do like bottom of those. How are you feeling? How are you feeling,
I'm
buddy?
feeling horrible. Pretty much my entire plan, I messed it up really bad. I had like this great plan, and I don't know. It's probably like I misread something, but I thought I had it set where I was going to get claims on Italy and Sicily. So when I died, I would just do 2 wars and get them back. And I messed it up so badly where I didn't get claims on either one of them. And so I'm now just a single small kingdom, really small kingdom that needs to try to gain everything back. So yeah, I had a big misplay.
But then again, everyone loves an underdog.
That is true. Everybody's been rooting for Mordaith this whole entire time as well. So, do you? My question is, do you think that you came out a little bit too strong with all the murders?
I think I got a lot more credit than I actually did. I really only did Hungary. That's all the murders I did, and then like one in the HRE. I feel like I got a lot of credit for other people's murders because I don't remember murdering that many people. That Hungary was also a disaster too. I thought I did a matrimonial marriage, but I guess I didn't. It was a series of blunders today. We're going big on the drawing board for next week.
Okay, well, you do have one more week to put up a solid plan. I have to say, I really like the strategy of going forward of being like, rather than being like, oh, my Omega Brain play failed, instead going with like, oh no, I just bumbled it. And I'm 100% sure that it was a much like high IQ play there somewhere, and we can't just see it. And now the Grave One's just being like, no, I just bumbled it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens next week.
I accidentally murdered some people in Hungary.
Accidentally
Tripped over a cat.
Don't listen to them. I accidentally did it.
I had to avenge the cat from the first session.
Of course.
That's all I was doing.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, we are going to say goodnight to you right there. And we'll bring in Mordaith. Thank you so much. So you've been a busy boy.
Like the Grave One, I have no distinct recollections of murdering anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'm sure it's perfectly innocent.
Yeah, you definitely didn't eat anybody either after all that, right?
Oh, a couple people. I'll cop to that.
I think it's interesting that you'll admit to eating people, but you won't admit to murdering them.
Oh, murdering's bad. Being a gourmand is a different thing altogether.
Now, we have it on record that Snap Strategy wants to get Wales back. How do you, or get Wales, as he put it. How do you feel about that?
I am not opposed to swearing my fealty to Snap Strategy.
Ooh, okay.
I hope he's listening to that.
I'm definitely not opposed to it at all.
I don't know.
I can't tell if he's serious or not.
I feel like it's probably a bad idea to have someone as.
It would be such a terrible idea.
I feel like he's probably watching this like, nope, I don't trust you at all.
I mean,
I wouldn't. I've got a bad record.
Yeah, but you're also at the bottom of the board when it comes to points, right?
Oh.
It's like,
what do I have to lose?
Exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like it could be a strategy of yours, and then next, when it gets closer to the end, suddenly you'll come out with like a bunch of points.
All my strategies fell apart very rapidly, and I had to come up with new ones. A weird thing that happened is my current heirs are Gaelic, and that's allowing me concubines. So
that is interesting.
So my dynasty has blossomed.
Well, that's nice for you.
Finally, right? When you had all the children dying.
more important, we have a family cat named Rations.
Oh my.
Just in case.
I'm not a fan of this. I do not. I will not stand for this joke.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
It's unseemly.
uncomfortable.
Eating people, I'm fine with. Eating cats.
The cats and the dogs go a little bit.
Cats
If my
have, like-
husband's watching, hide our cats.
I have no meats on them. We did notice at the end there that some parts of your crew is on a boat through the Mediterranean.
Yes.
I'm not too sure that's accurate.
Well, in that
We
case,
are not participating in the crusade. All my troops were back home fighting Irish oppression.
Fighting Irish.
see, here's my issue. Now, I do not know if this is secrecy and rumors or if I just messed up.
Would
however,
I have any benefit of grabbing any part of Jerusalem?
Of course not. Clearly a mistake on my end. I apologize profusely.
He's just going to eat your cat.
No.
Someone's not coming back for season 2.
All right. So, did you reveal your strategy for next week to us then? You're just going to eat your way through the pets?
Honestly, next week, I need to destabilize some of the alliances that Alba and some of the other nations have in order to cement my control over what will be Britannia.
All right.
And that is surprise attack by Ireland really threw things into chaos.
I can imagine.
All right. On that note, we are going to say goodnight to you, and we will see you next week, my friend.
Adios.
Bye. Wow.
The true Gaelic greeting there. Adios. I mean, that is another week of a family affair. That's what it says behind us.
Yes.
If you want more, we'll be back next week.
Same time, 1800 CET. So on Thursday,
Yes.
we do have Masters of Universalis. Same time, 1800 CET.
Yes, and if you are in a different time zone and you're watching us live, it should be scheduled on Twitch, so you can watch that. And if you're watching the VOD, just see if the next one's available.
And make sure everybody to go ahead and join our Discord. So we are always looking for feedback. If anybody has any suggestions for different competitions, go ahead and leave that there. There's pictures on there. There's all kinds of lovely discussions. If anyone else would like to do these competitions and just leave us a screenshot, we would be more than happy to show that on one of our streams. And also follow our Instagram and our Twitter.
All of the social medias.
And also YouTube.
Yes. All of the plugs have been had. All of the words have been said. Really looking forward to next week. It's going to be exciting to see what happens and if people get more points, if everything falls apart, and when everything falls apart, if they have time to build it up again. In the meantime, of course, we'll be back on Thursday with Masters of Universalis duels. Did you have a lovely evening, Lady
I had
Magnus?
a great evening. This was so much fun, and I can't wait to be back on Thursday with Masters of Universalis.
Until then.
Bye, guys.